everybody. There might be a Granny. Granny, what was that? There's a cat on my desk. Hi, everybody. Granny, what was that noise? What was that doing in there? Are you gonna leave? Okay, Granny left. Granny left, but maybe we will capture Granny once again with the soothing sounds of me talking to myself in a room. Hello! Yes, I am cat sitting for my friend again. You can see the adorable sleeping or breathing Kirby that Granny was hiding in earlier today. Cat time! Oh, in more than one way. Yeah, in more than one way because of Kitaria. Yes, I'm very excited to check it out. I have some thoughts already just from looking at the images, but I'm very curious to play it and see kind of how my full thoughts form. But I'm excited. It looks very cute. How are y'all doing today? Happy Thursday! We made it through the week. I have officially finished my Python for Beginners coding class, so now I'm a beginner Pythoner officially. Hey, James! Thank you for resubscribing. Welcome back to the fold. Look at all those emotes floating to the sky. Thank you. Toph was playing it earlier. Yeah, it does look like a lot of fun. I'm really curious about the co-op as well. Hey, happy day off. That's awesome. It's very hot in my room. I might have to turn on the air conditioner. What are you doing, Granny? Granny! Hey, Gran! Hey, Gran! It's okay. Granny is a Siamese cat, and he very much needs and loves attention, so he'll probably come around and visit. More than Pumpkin did. Pumpkin did not like being the center of attention in that way. Co-op is local only. Yeah, it's local only, but apparently you can do remote play through Steam, which makes it online kind of in some way that I'm not sure about. Also, happy first stream of September. Happy September! I hope everybody has reflected on their month. Oh wait, I forgot to do that, didn't I? Yes, I did. I need to fill out, I'm so behind. We got into a really great discussion on the Discord about the writing in Other M and just like writing in games in general and developing like MMOs, and then we started talking about coding, and we just got into this whole conversation, and I got completely sidetracked and just forgot the other things that I was going to be doing in like the hour and a half before the stream, so my bad. Happy September. Yeah, I've never actually messed with Steam Remote Play, and I'm not sure if both people have to own the game in order to do Remote Play either. Let me actually check. Steam Remote Play. You'll stream video, audio, and voice between players while using your own controllers. Okay. Okay, so it's like streaming. I wonder if there's any input lag. Very curious. Well, I'll have to try it out and tell you guys how it is and whether it's like a viable way to play with your friends. It sounds like it will be if you have... Hi, Granny! If you have good internet is my guess. You've heard it works pretty dang well. I mean, I know that they've been working on it for a long time, and I also know that when you upload a game to Steam, they like highly recommend that you do this. It's decent as long as the internet is good. That makes sense. Hi, Gran. Granny, you want some pets? Yeah, you want some pets? Oh, hi, Granny. How are you doing? Oh yeah, you're going low to the floor, huh? There is a cat on my desk, but you cannot. Oh, he's okay. He went behind the monitor. He's going behind the Granny. Hey, Granny, if I move my keyboard, do you want to like lay not on that? Cause that's a little bit important to me. That thing right there. Where are you going, Granny? Please don't lay on my important documents. It's a tail cam. The cat is, yeah. I will bring, if Granny settles down on my desk while we're streaming, I will show you him. But right now he is, oh, don't spill that. Oh. He just jumped on top of my water, like my jug, like my container of water. He just jumped on top of it, and it was like, and please do not spill that jug of water on my Xbox. Okay, it's fine. Anyways, Granny is like a very, very rambunctious, curious, active, social, verbal, ooh, cat. He's like slipping. Cat chaos. Cat chaos in more ways than one. Woohoo! Yeah. I'm happy it's Thursday. I got my blood drawn yesterday, and I'm still fairly tired from it, to be honest with you all. Still a little bit tired. Nathan! Hello! Thank you for resubscribing, and welcome back to the fold. How are you doing? Here, 1 second. I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna turn on the air conditioner. It's a little hot in here. You gonna sleep on my bed again? All right. I don't think you guys will be able to hear that background noise, so there we go. There we go. So many things happening. But yeah, I am really and I'm gonna play it with a controller, which is great. I am pretty excited to see how Kitaria Fables plays and how I like it, and I will be honest about my my thoughts on it. My first thought before I even have started. You can't tell if you have allergies or if you're getting sick, but wow, that's such a mood. Can't tell if allergies or sick. That's can't tell if chronic illness or getting sick. That's very relatable. Very relatable mood right there. One of my first impressions of Kitaria from just like looking at it on stream and everything is that I think the UI is too small. So I decided to buy it on Steam for that reason, because on a really small Switch screen, I was worried that it would be really, really small. So we'll see how that is in game. Maybe there's some settings to adjust it and all that. You had a headache earlier and was low-key spiraling. Right, I hate it. Like, so things that can happen with my chronic illness are feeling feverish / getting a fever, that's pretty common, sore throat / throat swelling up, coughing as a result of my throat swelling up. There's all these like COVID symptoms that I'm just like, it's fine. It's fine. I'm So at this point in the pandemic, I am just like used to it, and now I'm just like, I figure that if I get COVID, I will know, because I will be a lot sicker than normal. But yeah, generally, like, I can't wait for like a day when I feel nice. I haven't had like a day when I feel like completely good for a while now. I've been having a lot of like minor symptoms. I can't wait for one of those fabled clear days where I wake up and I'm filled with energy and I like don't have a headache or muscle aches or anything like that. Oh, I don't know if it's strength. I think it's just more like you don't have a choice. You're like, my brain is gonna figure out a way to like assimilate this information, or else I'm gonna spend months panicking, and your brain figures out the way to do it for you. Ah, cheers, Robo. You're like, I hate that, Nathan. I'm sorry. Yep. I'm glad you're wearing a mask though. Streaming, learning new things every day. Aw. Thanks, Bully Birdie. Heck yeah. You guys have no idea. If everything works out well, and I think I can do this, because I am known, literally all I do in my spare time is learn, so I'm pretty sure that I can do this really successfully. I'm gonna try to learn Unity, Python, and C# in the next 3 months. And I think I can do it, thankfully, because I already have some experience with coding. That's my goal. That's my goal. I don't know if it's ambitious or not ambitious, but that's what I'm gonna do in the next 3 months, and I'm gonna crush it. Totally doable. Thank you. Thank you. Let's go. I'm not sure if I will yet, but I was thinking about like maybe doing some coding streams would be fun. Certainly when I get away from tutorials and I start trying to make my own programs, I'll probably do some coding streams so that more experienced programmers can help me. But it'll be one of those things where like I'm gonna want to struggle a little bit until I ask for help, because I feel like that will be the best way to learn. So I'm not sure, I'm not sure like how fun that would be, maybe, but it's a thing that I am considering. In about 2 weeks, we will have mandatory vaccines for everything that isn't a required service in the provinces implementing a proof of vaccine system. Oh, right. You're in Canada, right? Judging streams. No, no judging streams. Tabs. No, space. Oh, I prefer tabs. It's just faster. I don't care. Coding is a good, secure thing to learn. You'll always have options for work. Oh, no kidding. Bully Birdie, you're right. I didn't even think about it from that way because I'm totally focused on designing my own games, but it would be much easier to pivot into some other job if I needed to. I'll have like a form of job security. For once, that'll be fun. Learning skills literally never... Focusing on personal growth for just 10 minutes a day, just 10 minutes a day of personal growth, you will never regret it. You will never regret the time that you spend investing in yourself. Even if it's as little, 10 minutes a day adds up over several years. It adds up really fast. I don't know. I'm a big proponent of the a little bit every day. I think that's Ichigo Ichie or something like that. A little bit. Yeah, backseat programming would not be fun. Backseat programming wouldn't be fun, but I'm sure that there's, I don't know, we'll see. From what I understand about my friends who do coding streams, it's generally like, you know, it's generally a nice collaborative space. Hopefully I won't get a bunch of, like, I don't know, specifically men coming in assuming I don't know what I'm doing, because that already happens a lot, and I don't like it. I don't like it. BC, got it, yeah. Well, that, I mean, you know, if that happens, it'll be good for everybody, I feel like. Oh, I need to, okay, hang on. Let me make some notes for myself before we start playing the game. Because there's some things that I needed to do, and I was just so drained after my doctor's appointment yesterday that I was not able to. So let me, by the way, fingers crossed, I might have seen my last specialist, aside from my nutritionist, for the year, which would bring an end to my year of, like, of doctoring. I got good health insurance in January, and then I spent this entire year seeing a lot of doctors and paying for a lot of tests. And so I really hope that I'm done with that, because I would love to have that like $500 per month back. You know what I mean? America. But I'm excited that I hopefully don't need to go into any specialists anymore once we get this test result back. So fingers crossed, 5 me. Like, whoo. You might be able to learn a little bit about programming from the streams, I think. Coding, honestly, for me, the programming uses the same part of your brain that Nancy Drew does. And like, that's not even, I'm not even joking. Like, I say all the time that playing so much Nancy Drew has made me a better, like, puzzle person. I think playing so much Nancy Drew and solving all the puzzles without looking the solutions up has legitimately made my brain, like, way better at puzzles and logic and, like, finding patterns without me needing to consciously think about them. I highly recommend playing Nancy Drew. If you want to sharpen your mind, they should put that as a marketing scheme. You come in here not knowing what you're doing. And you get a variable named after you. Oh, that's cute. I like that idea, Rover. Oh, wait, I was like gonna, right. I wanted to fix Nightbot. That's what I wanted to write down here. Fix Nightbot. There we go. Hello, thank you, Hefty Goof. I hope you're having a great Thursday. You're so bad at puzzles, maybe you'll give it a shot. The Nancy exercise. Legitimately, because like when I started Nancy games, I did not consider myself very good at puzzles, and some of those puzzles took me like a really, really, really long time. I mean, I was never any good at like the slide puzzles, the slide 3 puzzles. I had never solved one in my life, but then I had to for Nancy, and I just sat there for like an hour or something with you guys, sliding things around until my brain figured it out and solved the puzzle for me, which was an exciting experience. But like that's kind of why this is the approach that I'm wanting to take with coding, is I want to like try to make my own programs and then sit there and try to figure out how to do it instead of having somebody give me the answer, because I think if people give me the answer, I won't learn as fast. Just like looking up an answer to a Nancy puzzle, I won't be able to figure out the pattern myself. And I think that having your brain struggle to figure out the pattern is maybe how you wrap your brain around the logic of programming languages. That's my guess. So that's my only thing about like, oh, maybe if I code stream, I might need to like not look at the chat as much if people happen to be backseat coding. But I don't think anybody in the fold would have a problem with that. But oh yeah. Baba is you? I need to play that game eventually. All I've been doing is playing 2 Point Hospital. A third of the way. I didn't even get a third of the way through Professor Layton. I played one. Apparently the game that I played is considered one of the like hardest and least puzzly, but I legitimately didn't even make it through the tutorial of that game. That was how hard it is. I used up all of my hints and then I rage quit. So. No, Nathan, no! Well, and one of the things about coding, James, and just like learning things in general, because like learning languages is the same thing as this. It's really, really hard, and it's like hard to be interested. It's boring. It's hard to stay focused until you get to the point where like it's clicking and you start to see how you can use it, and you're like, oh, I can make myself a program to do this thing for me. And that's when it starts getting fun, when you gain enough proficiency with it to start using it on your own, because then, you know, trying to figure out how to do the things you want to do, that'll always engage your attention more than following along some boring tutorial where somebody's explaining a bunch of functions and variables and how the list serve and blah 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 works. You know what I mean? I find that I always have to get over that hump, or else it's bleh. You enjoyed your time with Baba Is You. It's different from coding, but it's fun. There are some fun coding games online, like Code Wars. You get a task ranging from very basic to super complicated, and then earn XP from solving it. Oh, that's the really interesting thing, Side Isle, is comparing code, because Zek has been going through the same coding course as me. We're diverging now. 2 paths cross in a woods. But we're diverging now, but what was fun was like comparing our solutions to answers, especially because Zek has never coded before, but Zek is a network engineer, which like has its own logic. It has its own logic to it, and whereas I've coded in basic Python before, so I'm familiar from making the 2 games that I made by myself. I'm familiar with like cleaning up my code and kind of making it look more polished, and it was interesting to see the places where we diverged and things that Zek did better and things that I did better and like cleaner and all that, you know? It was very interesting. Yeah, tutorial videos are rough. I need the text. Even if text takes longer, I feel like being in charge of how fast I'm gonna get through the lesson. Whereas with video tutorials, no matter what, when you start it, you see that number in the corner, you can only go as fast as you can understand the person talking. You know what I mean? It's like a bummer. An assembly-based puzzle game, but you can learn a lot from it. I'll write these things down, you know? I want to become incredibly proficient at coding so that when I start, as I'm making my own games, they go faster is the goal. Like, I want to really understand how to code. I'm looking for comprehensive understanding of code. I am not looking for, like, boot camp level of code where, like, you kind of know how to code, but that doesn't necessarily mean you understand it, if you know what I mean. Code Wars, amazing learning. It's so much more fun than following a tutorial. Absolutely will do. Absolutely will do. It's on my list. Damasan! And the chatting, and my hair is so savvy. It's filled with secrets. You want mastery of coding? I want mastery of everything I do, basically. I don't know if you guys have noticed that I'm like a fanatic. I love learning things. I love adding new skills on. Mendez, hi! How are you doing? You've never been super great with coding. You have a bad habit of biting off more than I can chew. Yeah. And I'm fortunate that I've had, like, we have a really great community of coders within the fold whom you can, and also I have done reached out multiple times when I'm like struggling with something in a game to be like, I don't understand what I'm doing wrong. This code isn't working. I don't even know how to check to know what is wrong with it. And I'm like, Jacob, help me. All right. All right is good enough for me. My Tuesday stream? Oh, but you have a D&D game that's Tuesdays. Oh, that stinks. Well, again, it's possible that I might end up swapping times a little bit. I don't know. As I'm getting into this, like, making games for myself thing, I've got to, like, I'm not sure if I'm going to keep the stream on a solid schedule or if I'm just going to be like, oh, 2 streams a week on the days that I feel, most like I have the most spoons, or maybe I'll keep it on the schedule, or maybe I'll just swap days and I'll keep it on the schedule, or maybe I'll start swapping times around. It's really gonna have to like fall into like what are my hours that are the most beneficial for me to like learn, like when are my biggest spoon hours, and then using those as efficiently as I can, and then streaming wherever it fills in. Well, don't change it on my account. Oh yeah. No, this has been something I've been thinking about for a while. No worries. Oh, that stinks. I'm sorry, James. A task description points you in the right direction, and it's up to you to figure out how. Do X without using arrays. Ooh. That sounds like a perfect way to practice. Thank you, Side Isle. I'm definitely gonna check Code Wars out. Definitely. Learning how others tackle problems is really important. That makes sense. You can get better all the time. High skill levels at coding complex projects takes many, many years or decades. I am aware. I am aware that when you say that you want mastery of anything, that means years of dedication. But I also think, because I've learned so many skills at this point in my life, I think that there's a way to learn smart and not long. Which is not to say that I think that it won't take a long time. It just means that I think that I can get it not in decades, but maybe in like 5 years. Maybe in 5 years of concentrated practice that is specifically focused on making sure that I am adding, like, that I'm constantly building on. Because from what I understand, just from like my own experience learning languages and like all the different kinds of skills that I have, sometimes you hit the sweet spot where you know enough to do most of the things that you want to do, and you can kind of just coast there for a while. It's like with art. With art, you have a lot of people who've been drawing since they were kids, but that doesn't necessarily mean that the people who've been drawing since they were kids are skilled artists, because some of the people who've been drawing since they were kids have just been drawing the same thing over and over because that's what they were most comfortable with drawing, whereas other people who've been drawing since they were kids maybe took lessons or just were interested in honing the basic skills, so they learned anatomy and they learned perspective and they learned how light like falls and how to accurately depict light, and learning those basic skills is going to get you much further. It's more about studying the skill than just doing the thing until you learn and until you figure it out on your own, is what I'm trying to say. And I think the same thing applies to writing, even though you will like literally never see that advice given, which frustrates me to no end. But I think the same thing applies to writing. You can break it down into minor skills that you can practice instead of just like the current advice, which is, I don't know, just write a bunch and maybe you'll learn how to get better eventually. September through February is rough for warehouses. Oh, yeah. No kidding. I believe you. I firmly believe you. Well, I hope it's not too rough. You know. You know. Learn smart, not hard. Okay. Let's swap over into checking out Kitaria Fables. Let me change the Steam information as well, so that we're not just chatting on for 2 extra hours. Learning things automatically gives you experience in learning things, especially when you're passionate about it. You'll pick up new skills if you have that experience. That's definitely a thing. Which, again, For anybody who's interested, the Learning How to Learn course on Code Academy is completely free and is very short and quick and is one of the best investments you will ever make in your life. If you're trying to learn a skill, literally any skill right now, go take that course because it will make it way faster for you to learn it. It makes it so much faster. It literally just teaches you how the brain learns things and how to learn things in a way that the brain learns things the most easily. It's really great and it's free, so please go do it. Okay. It does make sense. Quite proficient in 5 years. Programming challenges become less about learning the language or existing solutions and more about having to invent new solutions to hard problems or learn more niche solutions from others that have extensive experience in particular niches. There's no skill cap. Most challenges at that stage have no correct answer. Yes, I completely understand this. Honestly, I don't think that programming is different from learning a foreign language, and I don't think that programming is different from learning any kind of artistic skill. Because what you're saying about programming right now is that applies directly to writing. It applies 100% directly to writing. It applies 100% directly to any skill. So there's never a skill cap, but you hit this level of learning where you're almost like, not necessarily on your own, but the challenges become very different. Yeah, programming is artistic. I think it does a disservice that we're like, programming is math, and then like, you know, nobody wants to learn it because only people who like math want to learn programming, and only a subsect of people who like math want to learn programming. And like, I think that does it a disservice. I think it does it all a disservice. Okay. It's even possible to offend the compiler. Math rarely comes into play for most It comes into play a lot for game dev, at least, because of, like, balancing things. There's a lot of math. Most people who are in high-level engineers rarely use anything beyond grade school math. That's true. I'm not sure... I hope I won't need to learn calculus or anything. I'm not planning on physics. Anyways. Anyways, let's pop into Kitaria. Oh, I did forget to make sure that the audio would be playing, though. Make sure that it's gonna do that. Hopefully, this will work without me needing to do anything else. Please. Yay! Okay, it does work. Alright, let me put it at that and then whee! Alright, seems a little loud. Quieted it. Alright. How is that? Should audio go up or down? There's linearly more math the lower levels you go in programming, and by that, closer to the hardware, and not using tons of libraries written over the years. That makes sense. Alright, perfect. Let's go! I'm excited to see what this game is about. Okay, we're streaming at 4K, so please let me know if the stream starts getting weird when we're actually in the game, because sometimes that happens when we're playing 4K. I'm gonna put very high shadow quality, though. And then general. Oh, yay! They do have UI scale. Perfect! All right. And then the only other thing that I want to do is I want to try to swap, because Steam is doing that thing where it's swapping which controller input I have, because I'm using a Nintendo controller. So I'm gonna swap it back. Oh god, Steam, why do you... Granny! Granny, what are you doing? Hi, Granny. What's up? You're gonna sit on my controller and my and you're gonna sit on my desk, aren't you, Granny? Yeah. Do you want to be in the spotlight? Oh. Huh, Granny? I have a kitty on my desk. Hi, Granny. Whoop. There he goes. There he goes. There goes the boy. Do you want to go? Do you want to look out the window? There you go. Let me move this. There you go. You can go. Alright. The boy is, his tail is peeking outside of the window. Alright, Cat, 10 out of 10. Best stream ever. What was I doing? Alright, I was trying to fix the controller settings. Use Nintendo button layout. Alright, so let's hope that that has fixed it. Oh, yeah. That's fair. I did the thing where I broke the controller, so I need to relaunch the game. You think that I would have learned. Kitten out of 10. This game is called Kitaria Fables. It's been pitched as a, basically a Stardew Valley meets Zelda. Perfect. Let's go. And let me move my camera. We'll figure out where it's best to put it after we start up the game. Tight. Let's go! My head's like chopped off. I'm not even... Oh my god, I have a lot of new mail. I bought the deluxe edition.
Speak of a time that Cara faced the calamity. Once docile monsters were driven into a violent rage by a mysterious power. Brave heroes assembled to...
This feels very Fable.
After an arduous battle, the monsters were defeated, and the mysterious power subsided. People returned to their normal lives, and peace was restored. Or so we thought.
Dun dun dun! Alright, who's been lying to us?
There have been whispers of the calamity returning once more, with no heroes remaining to fight against it. What is the cause of this mysterious power?
Me!
Will Canoidera ever be truly at peace?
Not until every single one of us are truly at peace with ourselves, so no! Sorry. Wow, this game is really pretty. I like the music, I'm digging the vibe. Oh my god! Look at the little pink blob! It's so cute. We've been searching for hours and we still can't find the village. I'm so tired. Are you sure that Commander Blue gave us the right directions? I'm starting to doubt it. Or are we a silent protagonist? What did we do wrong? Are you my friend? Whoa, look at me. Dodge and roll, dodge and roll. I wanna, immediately goes the wrong direction. The most gamer thing possible. Where are you going? Oh, the wrong direction, you know. As you do. What is this? Checkpoint. Sure. Cool. Paw pennies. I'm definitely not following the tutorial right now. I'm off doing my own thing. Croissant! Okay, let's go. Let's Skyrim this bad boy. Peace was never an option. I love the music. Hello, macaron. According to the map, the village should be close. By the way, wandering around unfamiliar places is dangerous, don't you think? We should be prepared for anything, in case some monsters decide to ambush us. I'm hoping that doesn't happen. You should equip your weapon before we move on. Yes, ma'am. Which button is that? Is that this one? No, this one. That one. Crushed it. Alright. Let's get moving. Wait for me, buddy. Hi, Tim. How are you? Huh? What's going on? There's a cat approaching. Some gooeyes are surrounding somebody. They aren't usually so aggressive towards people. Gosh, that poor kid, what do we do? I don't know. Well, let's help her. We should never abandon someone in need. Are you ready? Here we go. Get the cool shoe shine. Didn't your parents ever tell you to be kind to others, especially elders and kids? If you want someone to spar with, find someone who can fight back, like us. Okay, so we aren't that strong, but you should find that out for yourself. All right, let's go. I wonder if I'm gonna get to customize, like, ooh, okay. I'm amazing. What about it? I've never seen anyone fight like that. That's because we've been training for years. Pretty cool, right? We'll escort you home. Oh, their name is Nyan. I live not far from here. I'll show you the way. Cat version of Cloud Strife, right? That's exactly what I was thinking. Now you have to kill the cute. Yeah, this game is supposed to be like Stardew Zelda. It's looking like, this is actually like, what an adorable, what a beautiful, like I love the vibe here. They really nailed the vibe. My precious kids, thank goodness. I was worried you might get into trouble. I told you not to play too far from the village, Aaron. I'm sorry, Grampy. There was a pretty dragonfly near the near the river. Mm-hmm. Thank you, brave travelers! Oh, you know. So, are we gonna just... So we're not from this village? Are we gonna... Welcome to Paw Village. I'm Oliver, the village chief. Oh, so this is how we get a house. We've been looking for this place for hours. I'm Macaron, and this is Nyanza von Viskers. Hello. Our commander sent us here after receiving word that nearby monsters were causing a disturbance. Soldiers from the capital city. Okay. Okay. Hey, Chipotle! Oh, congratulations! Congratulations, that's amazing! And also congrats on 2 years. Welcome to the fold, and welcome to the fold, young Chipotle. Hello. It's nice to meet you. I don't know how to talk to kids, but I will refrain from cursing. Congratulations though. Hello. Hey, Roni, how are you doing? Need to seek help from the capital city. We'll take care of all the problems. Tis getting late. He'll curse later, too. We already have a place to stay, then wait to Uncle Payne's old place. Are you one of Payne's relatives? Nyanza is his grandchild. It's a pity we couldn't visit him while he was around. I hope he wouldn't mind us staying at his old house for a while. Payne Thunderbun! Payne Thunderbun! One of the kindest men I ever knew. He'd be glad to let you stay. Please follow me, I'll show you the way to his old house. Alright. I wanna change my cat fur color. It might look shabby from the outside, but 'tis quite spacious and comfortable within. I hope you enjoy your stay. Thanks for bringing us here. Must be tired from your journey. I won't keep you any longer. Please rest. Good night. Night. Let's go home. Good night, Macaron. Good night, Nyanza. Nyanza von Whisker Tush to you, friend. Do you have feet to hurt? So yeah. Okay, so I've got a bunch of items as costumes that I can claim. So I think that I will be able to customize myself at least a little bit. This is for selling. Restores health. Restores health. Does it say how much it sells for? 15? 90 total. And these green goops? Alright, I'll keep these because I might need them for maybe crafting if this game has crafting. Look at all the glowy pretty things! Oh, I love the glowy pretty things! Can I attack these? I cannot. Oh, I love it when things are pretty. Okay, I don't have a watering can. Oh, okay. Need to pick things up to... Okay. I see. I'm picking up what's being put down. This is... Wow, this is very Rune Factory, actually. This is really Rune Factory. I love it. Out of my way. Pretty without looking smudged. Hey Connor, how you doing? Enjoying Smite? I'm home. My save point is a book that sparkles. I'm ready. I'm ready for this game. This game looks great. Everybody who sent it to me thinking that I would like it is probably correct. Okay. Ooh, all right. Let's figure out how we gonna look. Noir. Oh man, I'm gonna have to I gotta figure out my cat Sona. Who would I be as a, oh, that's cute. Oh, that one's cute. Who would I be as a cat? Oh no. Which one do you guys think I should be as a cat? Which one fits me? Which one do you feel fits my personality? This is hard for me. I don't know who I am. Okay, let me go to, oh, I don't have any. I have a gladiator helmet, evil horns, or a beach hat. Well, that's cute. Let's go for none right now. And then this. Ooh. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, well, we're definitely going for these. We're absolutely going for these. We're not going for these. Are you kidding me? We're definitely going for those. Oh. These wings. Interesting. Okay. The Siamese. Cat identity crisis. I don't know which one I like the most. Good night, Harvest. Thanks for coming. Yeah, the Siamese looks... I don't know which cat I identify with. Maybe the Noir. But I don't like that you can't see its eyes. I don't feel the calico. I'm not feeling that I personally am the gray and white. I don't think I'm the white cat either. I don't feel like I'm a tabby. The Choco looks more orange to me. The Siamese is pretty cute. I would say that the Siamese is one of the best designs, I think. Had a great nap, that's nice. The Sakura is very cute, but I just feel like it's not me necessarily. And then there's this, and then the bangle. Okay, between the black and the noir, I think the main differences are that the noir has white ears and you can't see its eyes. Is there a difference in the tail? And the noir, I think, is slightly a lighter black. Noir is such a Brock. Noir is a Brock. That's kind of hilarious. I do like the white tipped ears. I don't know. Maybe I'll play a day as both and then I'll decide which one I like best. All right, let's go to bed. Crushed it. Yeah, you gave me that money. I don't even know what I need it for. Ooh, jelly-filled donut sounds nice. Okay, so do I, like, have tools, then? Do I go... Alright, I'm gonna... I don't even have my friend anymore. My friend's gone. I'm just gonna leave town. See if, like, I'll run around, people will just give me free tools. Yep. Tim! Monsters chased. Good morning, everyone. You don't look so good. Our provisioner there. Oh, our provisioner. Okay. I love this music. This musician did a really great job. Like this this music reminds me so much of Fable, but better, but in a nicer way. I love this music. I'm gonna have to remember this. Okay, I left my bag behind. Oh no. We'll go get your bag. Yeah, Fable was a bit, I don't want to say tongue-in-cheek, I want to say... yeah, hammy might be a closer word. It definitely felt just a little bit, like, overdone. On the nose. Yes, on the nose. Fable was very on the nose. But there are things about Fable that I really enjoyed that really, like, influenced me as a young person wanting to narratively design games. Help me get my bag back. The calamity. Excuse me, I want tools though. Maybe my tools are gonna be in the bag. Croissants! Okay. Okay. Okay, I've spent a little bit as... Oh wait, how did I get all the way over here? Where's even my house from? Hi! The best quality fruit and vegetable seeds. Okay. Well, I don't even have tools to, like, begin doing that kind of thing. What are you doing over here, Aaron? Am I going to fight monsters today? Probably. What about it? Oh, I don't have a silver key! How very Fable! Okay. Python-esque. OG Star Trek, but without anything of the charisma of Shatner or Nimoy. I really loved how Fable did You know, Fable was very influential for game design because the concept of you being able to alter your character's personality through your actions, I feel like Fable really put that concept into the open for people. Got it. I need tools in order to get that. What about in here? Nothing. In here? No. What about you, Rose? Living with Auntie Apple is hard. She cooks too much. Oh, she talks too much, but her food is delicious. Well, that's a little rude, to be honest with you. Okay, who are you? Oh, right. He has the request. Oh. I'm stealing these croissants. Don't mind me. Can I move? Okay, there we go. Listen, I'm just looking for where I get my tools from. What is this? Teleport. Oh, so you can teleport to wherever you've clicked on the checkpoints. Caramel. Caramel. Oh, it's adorable. I love caramel. It reminds me of the, do you guys remember those like little mini pets? Oh, they were like tiny little robot mice and like cats and horses and stuff. And when you tapped their name, they would be like, one of those. That's what this one looks like. If anybody remembers those, if that was a blast for the past from anybody. I love those things. I wanted micro pets, I think they were called. I wanted like 200 and my parents were not gonna get me 200. But if I had been left to my own devices. I do need something in particular. I need tools. How do you expect me to earn my money? How do you expect me to earn my keep? How do I get over there? Pennies! Okay, well, I'm gonna go back to my house. First, I'm gonna find how I go back to my house. Is it this way? It is. Caramel is close to my name. It sounds adorable. I actually don't enjoy eating caramel. That's why. I don't enjoy eating caramel. During the Tamagotchi craze, Tamagotchis are coming back again too. All right, let me see. Let's try the noir now. Let's see how I feel about the noir. Don't look at me. Don't look me in the eye. Isn't there a song that's like, if you look me in the eye, tell me that you love me? How does that, I don't know. All right, let's go attack some orcs. Yeah, I'll definitely hand over my caramel. I think I only like caramel if it's like mixed in really well with chocolate and other stuff. How do I get out of town? If you look me in the eye, tell me that you love me. No, I don't think that's how that song goes. Your pocket Pikachu. There was a pocket Pikachu. That sounds so cool. Oh, okay. Sure, give me more. I guess they refill every day? I got some apples. Ha! You don't stand a chance! Okay, so interestingly, attacks don't use up your stamina. You can do magic in this game too. I don't care. I don't care to fight you because I don't know whether I level up. Do I level up? I don't see any kind of experience bar or anything. Let me check out the menu. Quests. Okay, interesting. Skills. Interesting. Interesting. So you can... Okay, so I do have things in item slots already. Ooh! What's this? I want it. I can't pick it up. What the hell? Karoo? right. You chill. Chill out. Chill out a little bit, all right? I'm not here to cause you any trouble. I'm just here to murder you and take all your stuff. So if you wouldn't mind chilling out just a little bit for me. When you are right here by my side? Is that the song? You think this song is about you? That's like that one guy who got famous for the song, "You Think You're Cooler Than Me," and then he dropped off of the face of the earth, and then he had another hit song, but his hit song was actually a remake of a song of his that didn't do well, and it was a song about how lame he was, and that is what happened. It is a very funny. Mikey Chin! Thank you for resubscribing! Welcome back to the fold, and thank you again, Dawn! No harm intended. Look at us go. Oh, okay, so I'm not supposed to go that way. Look Me in the Eyes by Jonas Brothers? My God, how, where? No wonder I very much didn't remember the song. Mike Posner. Yup. I love that guy's story. It's quite, I feel like it's, you know, maybe I shouldn't think it's as funny as I do, but I think it's really funny still. And maybe that's rude, but it's pretty funny to me. Yeah, I took a pill in Ibiza to show Avicii I was cool. And when I finally got sober, felt 10 years older, but forget it was something to do. I can't go that low. I'm living out in LA. I drive a sports car just to prove that I'm a real big baller, cause I made $1 million and I spend it on girls and shoes. I don't know where I'm going, so leave me alone, carrots. I'm looking for the orcs. The bad boy. Ooh, King Gooey. Oh, nope, not doing that. Not doing that today. Not today. I bet nothing bad will happen when I pick that up. Oh. Alright, he just stood there and let me kill him. I guess that's fine. I have no real problem with that. Oh, there's two! Crushed it! There's so many bridges going off in different directions. I want to explore. All right, back home 5 me. Maybe it contains tools. I wouldn't call him BoJack Horseman. He's probably a lot better of a human than BoJack Horseman is, to be honest. But yeah, it's same vibe. Hey Wonkith, how are you doing? Good morning. But the ability to explore. Yeah, but I want it now. I'm a soldier. I want to go fight things. Oh, and tools, yeah. Yeah, probably. They don't want me spending all my time. Where'd you go, sir? Is he no longer outside? Did I take way too long exploring? I think I took way too long exploring today. Oh well, it's a bed. Hopefully it's not gonna be the kind of thing where I turn it in and they're like, tomorrow we'll, you know what I mean? And I'll just spend a day like wandering. All right, to bed with us. I think I like the white-tipped ears just because it's a little bit easier to see where I am on the map. Nice. I don't know that you can't sympathize with BoJack. BoJack Horseman is a wild, wild show, and one of the things I really like about both BoJack Horseman and the show Crazy Ex-Girlfriend is that they're both like really powerful examinations of mental illness. And I think it's great that we have a lot of shows like that right now. Crazy Ex-Girlfriend is super underrated, does not get the credit that it deserves. It's really good. I watched the whole thing. It's rough. It's rough in the beginning, not because it's bad, but just because like, you know, it's rough in the same way that BoJack Horseman can kind of be rough. Not as bad, not as rough as BoJack Horseman, but still kind of rough. But take my word for it, it ends well, I think. I thought it handled itself well. It's very good. Catnap. Also, Crazy Ex-Girlfriend is just a musical, and that's awesome. It's very funny. And they also, like, lay off a little bit as it goes on. Hello. Sage Albie. Okay, who's Sage Albie? The Village Wise Man. A professor at the Royal Academy. Okay. At the forest entrance. And I have to give him a package. Okay. Alright, goodbye. Straight up? Can I just... Oh no, there's just a chest there. Alright, well let's go. It's very cute. Then I highly recommend Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. Sorry. It's on Netflix. I fully get that as well, Wonka. I had to stop watching Crazy Ex-Girlfriend for a little bit. Because it just hit a point where I was like, ooh, I have this habit of stopping right after the worst moments in shows where everybody's like, oh, don't worry, that's the worst that it gets. And I'm like, I don't believe you. That's fair. Hello! Knock, knock! Knock, knock, Sage Professor! It is I, Whiskers von Whiskertush. Where is Macaron? Macaron is still talking, but he's not anywhere around me. Oh, a polar bear. Oh, there's Macaron. They're a meanie. Sage Albie, don't be mean. Okay. Whoa! Macaron out here being like, if you were a real scholar of the city, you would help us. Whoa, Macaron, we literally just met. He doesn't even know your name. We don't even know, like, what gender this character is right now. We know literally nothing about them aside from the fact that they're a polar bear and they're a sage. I don't trust anyone claiming to be from the capital city. Leave immediately. Okay. Okay, Prince Zuko. The Empire rules well, both the city and the wider territory. Sometimes our commanders can be a bit harsh. I won't lie about that. What they're doing is for the people's sake. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. You are but mere cubs. You cannot understand. I haven't finished Garden Story yet, no. I got super sidetracked. But I'm not sure if I'll finish it on stream. I might finish it off stream. The Empire's power and how to conquer the world with it. You are their subjects. You say you're here to help us for now, but in the future, who knows? Perhaps they will tell you to arrest someone who defies them. Okay, listen. Scholars. Scholars. I know you like to distrust the military and everything. And for good reason. But, you know, hate the game, not the player. I don't know what happened between you and the Empire, but I assure you that our purpose is to protect the people. We promise to maintain peace. If you find out that we're lying to you, you can drive us out of here by force. Don't worry, Nyan. I won't let anyone harm you. Yeah, you and your little vine arms, I'm sure. Why? Why have they sent you here? We don't need any help. We can bear the responsibility of defending the village ourselves. Listen, Sage, I don't know what your damage is. Whoa, Macron, we literally just met this person. Maybe don't be like this when we just, like, do you know how rude it is to just, like, be like, yo, what up? I know that, like, I literally just got here 2 days ago to your tiny village, but everything you're doing is wrong. Like, also, by the way, my name's Macron. Nice to meet you. Like, what are we doing here? Oh, man. Correct. Well, Yellow Ring, three different people recommended it to me, so I felt like the universe was telling me something. I literally woke up to 3 messages, well, to 2 messages and then Bully Birdies, and I was like, well. Commander Blue thought it might be easier to adapt to the area if we were assigned to a place that our family was from. I wish Uncle Payne was with us right now. You knew Payne, Thunderbum? Okay, now we're learning backstory. I feel like I'm not even done with the tutorial and they're like, here's the backstory.
I'll support you.
If it's cute and has cats, you immediately think of me. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that association right there. Okay, congratulations on a year! Congratulations! Thank you for resubscribing. Let's get some chair dances in the chat. Thank you. Welcome back. All right, give us the backstory, lady. Or person, I don't know. So this is like a very big and sudden story dump. Like there's a lot. Come back once you figured it out. Okay. Be gone. Okay. I feel like it was a little bit of a sudden shift into this, but it's a magic book. It's probably gonna teach me magic. That's my guess. Thank you for the chair dances. They're cute. I feel like that wasn't necessarily bad, but I do think that there might have been a more elegant way to get us into that story thread. It just feels like we got like really deep into the meat of something, but like I still don't even know who I am or who really anybody else is at this point, you know what I mean? So I feel like it was just a little bit sudden. Let's see. Not that that's necessarily a bad thing, but I think that there could have been a smoother transition. A spell book, I knew it! Items like these are forbidden. You must have heard of magic wielders. They're no rumor. Oh, okay, so scholars used magic, the Empire forbade magic. Well, I'm anti-Empire, obviously, now. We're obviously anti-Empire. Go home and read the book. Oh wow, so I guess the bear gave us just freaking illegal contraband to see whether we were gonna arrest them. That's pretty ballsy. You know, pretty brave to do such a thing. Exactly, Jade, exactly. And susceptible to F12. Yeah, we should have a game that makes you pro-Empire. Just something just like completely bonkers. Just something, just to flip the script a little bit. Making games is so fun. Sorry, distracted. Did I make the correct decision? Girl, I don't know. I literally just got here. Do I desire to unleash the power within me? Yes. I wish only for your safety after all. Who are you? Fireball! Fireball. Thought you were studying the book, but I fell asleep. My eyes are always like this, Macaron. Would you please stop being rude, okay? I'm not asleep. I just close my eyes when I talk. Unleash your power. No, keep it to yourself. If we're awakening as like a sorceress witch thing, then we need to keep it to ourselves and be secretive about it. Oh my god, Macaron! Why are you such a jerk? Is Macaron gonna turn out to be evil in this game? Kate! You did come just in time for Fireball. Hello. Age of Empire. Oh yeah, Age of Empires. Oh, I gotta go. I gotta aim. I can't just fireball at nothing. Oh wow, well why would I ever use my sword when magic is clearly way more powerful? I just used magic! Uncle Payne was a wizard! Meow. You don't like the pink Mac? I think a lot of people are not liking Mac right now. Who likes Mac and who doesn't like? Actually, I want to know. We're gonna do a little poll. Who likes the Mac? Mac. Anti-Mac zone. No blob. Sans. All right, good luck. Let us know how you're feeling about Mac the Macaron. Our Macaron friend. Meow. It's not Magica Obscura if you tell people about it. I am a big fan of magic everything. Magic everything. I love magic. Put more magic in all the things. I'm never gonna be upset about someone putting magic in something. There are those who dislike Mac and those who are wrong. You have a strong dislike already, Yellow Ring. Because they're not naive? Oh, because they're not nice. Got it. Oh, that's fair. That's fair. That's a good point. I don't think you can buy it. I don't think I made it so you can spend your magic on it. I don't know, guys. Do you think the game wants us to side with magic or like, nah? Oh, so you have like mana. Got it. Okay, okay. What up? You aren't fully grasping the situation, yet you continue to press on. How admirable. All right, let's see, let's see. What was the answer to our question? Woo. Came down close, but people are not liking the Mac. People do not like the blob. I can't necessarily disagree. I don't know that I'm anti-Mac, but I don't think that I'm pro-Mac. The only Mac I like is mac and cheese. I don't think I did. Sorry. I'm at the book. Scholars from the Royal Academy examined the relics and used their power to create spellbooks. We could use the same power that enraged monsters to defeat them. They stumbled on a new problem. Not anybody can become a magic wielder, a person who can recite the knowledge of the spellbooks to control magic. Magic needs a vessel that is strong enough to hold its power. Your grandfather was one of a few people who could. This is probably the reason why you can also harness the magic. Great! This is one of those things where you gotta have the power by blood. Problem we now face is that there are no magic wielders remaining. Oh, I'm the literal only one! You must be familiar with the anti-magic laws. Magic use was banned shortly after they succeeded in defeating the monster uprising. I still don't trust you completely, but you're the most suitable person to bear this task. We must gather the relics. Oh my god, what? I literally just got, I don't understand. I feel, thank you, allow me to explain what you need to do. I feel like this is the, I don't know, I feel like I would have wanted like a scene showing me the Empire's cruelty, or like showing me that magic was banned in some way, or having us like sneak around guards while using magic or something. I just feel like I've been thrown into this Empire soldier versus magic thing, and I like still don't even really know who anybody in the game is. I like it. I like that this is what's happening. I just feel unprepared. It's not bad that it's going fast. I just think that maybe there could have been, I don't know. It's not bad by any means. All right, we're going into a dungeon. Everything we've discussed in this cottage, I'm just keep to myself. If anyone associated with the Empire finds out about this, we must be careful. I also really appreciate that they put like important things in a different color in the text. That's actually really, really helpful. So I really appreciate that they do that. I feel like that's a thing a lot of games could learn from, is like putting the important things in a different color of font, of text. Good luck indeed. You had a strange feeling about me when we first met? You mean when you were trying to kick me out of your house immediately? I don't know that I agree with you there. Bruh. Wow, I can't just open everybody's keys. What even is the point? Well, I do enjoy being thrown into the deep end because I would rather be thrown really fast into the story of a game than have a tutorial that takes like 4 hours to get through, you know what I mean? So I definitely prefer this approach over a different approach, but I do wish that we had more, like, that we could see, so that we could kind of, because like right now we're just being told that the Empire is bad. I wish we had some kind of experience with it so that it feels more like it's our decision and less like we're just kind of doing whatever the people around us are telling us to do. But, you know, that's me narrative designly looking at this. I'm betting that part of the reason they didn't do that is because that would be very expensive to do. It would be very expensive and it would require reworking a lot of things, so that's probably why they didn't do it. Yeah, we might end up seeing more of the Empire. The art style is great, and I really, really, really love the music. I'm a big fan of how the composer, especially of the instrumentation that the composer has chosen so far. Where am I going? I don't remember what he told me to do. He told me to go into the dungeon. Is this the dungeon? I'm going in here. Show don't tell is not like a rule that you always have to follow is the thing. Like there are things that are much better told than shown, especially in games, because with games, the problem, like with writing, it doesn't necessarily matter because if you show or if you tell, you can make them take up almost a similar amount of space. With games, the more you show, the more time it takes. So it's a lot easier to be like, the Empire is evil, than it is to create a scene that shows you that the Empire is evil, because that's either like a whole lot of dialogue, or that's like a whole cutscene, or now you have maybe like a fight that you have to fight, and you have to like get the players in the place for all this to happen, and you have to like have the models prepared in order to do that. So it would add on a length of time, so that's why like the tutorial would have taken longer. So show versus tell is still a rule in games that is very important, but there's like more of a calculation that you need to do here than in some other forms of media where you don't deal with the added cost of showing versus telling. Battle Chef. Oh, you're agreeing? The execution of throwing you in the deep end could have been much better. Oh yeah. I wasn't disagreeing with you. I don't even remember what I'm just talking about it. I wasn't trying to disagree with you or to say that you were wrong or anything. I was just continue talking about it. We did walk into their house. Oh yeah, that's very cool, James, as well. Of the evil empire versus noble rebels trope in Skyrim. Man, I've never actually finished the main quest in Skyrim. It warrants the call because of how fast the game jumps into it. I don't know. See, that's the thing. I'm trying to think of the ways that they could have done it, keeping in mind that this game is indie and has a smaller budget. I think that there's definitely ways that they could have done it for sure. I'm wanting to play a little bit more because I want to know like what the priorities were for the devs when they constructed the game this way, because maybe it's set up this way for a good reason, you know? And also maybe it's just budget restriction. That's what I was talking about. With show versus tell, even if it would have been better to show it, they just genuinely might not have had it in the budget. That's what I was trying to communicate. I wasn't trying to say that you guys were wrong or anything. I was just trying to add additional perspective on the calculations that go into making these kinds of decisions when you're designing games. What if we've been tricked and die in vain? Listen, Mac, I don't really know what your deal is, friend. All right, well, let's go through this dungeon. I don't think that this will be necessarily apples from bats. Okay, there's like a whole thing over there that's covered, so we gotta go figure out a puzzle. This must be where the Zelda dungeon part comes in. But you hate flash. I do not enjoy flashbacks. Flashbacks are like the opposite of show versus tell for me. Yeah, environmental storytelling can take the burden off of show versus tell. But we're apparently in an area that is meant to be like completely remote from the Empire. That's kind of why I was like, Aside from sending soldiers to the Empire, which we're the soldiers that they sent, you know what I mean? I don't enjoy, like, if you're gonna show versus tell flashbacks, to me, flashbacks are something that need to be used incredibly sparingly. I think that in games, they tend to be a little bit overused because games are really much more about the present moment than other forms of media are. And as much as possible, in my opinion, you need to center what's happening now in the present moment. Whether that means like, so if you have a flashback that just interrupts the flow of play, a lot of players will just immediately check out. You know what I mean? They will just immediately be like, it's a flashback, it doesn't matter, mash, 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 let me get through this, blah, blah, blah. Flashbacks can be used really well, but like as soon as you enter a flashback in a game, it's a communication that you, the player, are not going to be playing anymore. And also that whatever is happening in this flashback doesn't matter because flashbacks have a predetermined ending, right? So it doesn't matter necessarily what you do in the flashback because it won't result in any change to the game. There's always exceptions to that, but like I think flashbacks, I don't enjoy the use of flashbacks in games very much. They're often an awkwardly rambly way of conveying narrative. The Empire is fairly chill while the Stormcloak rebels who want independence also want to expel all Nords, so they're super racist. Oh, that's fair. It's the same coin, but describing different sides. Yes, as I said, I was not actually disagreeing with you at all. I agree with you and Jade. I was just trying to provide, I was just talking aloud from the developer's perspective about what they might have been thinking about as they were making these decisions. Because I'm not here to just like point out every flaw in a game and be like, it's bad. I'm here to discuss narrative design in games, which entails discussing the trade-offs of making games, because you always have to make trade-offs when you're making games. You cannot not make trade-offs. It's just not possible, because in order to not make trade-offs, you just have to have endless amounts of money, and there's no way that's gonna happen. There's little drama to flashbacks because you know to an extent what is gonna happen. Yeah, exactly. Well, that's why I'm wondering if maybe Mac is supposed to be, like, evil, actually. Because Mac seemed like, you know, maybe Mac is gonna end up betraying us. I wouldn't be surprised if that were to happen. Especially for indie games, there's a lot of trade-offs that you have to make. And sometimes you can make those trade-offs in a way that is like stylistically appropriate for the game, but sometimes you can't. Or sometimes you like paint yourself into a corner with how you've set up the game's engine and stuff like that. I think a really interesting example of like painting yourself into a corner actually is Octopath Traveler. Octopath Traveler's I think really could have been more than what it ended up being, but I think that they were very hamstrung by how they chose to construct handling each of the individual characters' narratives in the game, like systematically. While you could have interwove the narratives, and it's not impossible, it would have been a huge headache, and most game directors and like producers don't want to do that, even if the narrative department wants to do that. And also, especially, most don't want to pay the narrative department to do something like that, because now you're constructing your game with like a million branching paths depending on how many people do you have in your party at once and where in the story are you compared to where in the story you are with everybody else, and like that becomes just an exponential, just a like, again, it's not impossible, but you would have to know that that's what you're doing from the very start. You would need to build a bunch of tools so that you would be able to test each of the different combinations really easily, which in a game like Octopath Traveler, with how they set it up, was not going to happen. I think they should have at least had a main narrative that tied in with all of the other narratives, but they chose not to do that. They just chose to have however many separate narratives instead of tying them all together. Playable flashbacks? Playable flashbacks are better, but like, again, it really has to be done well. So like, thinking about Final Fantasy VII, Final Fantasy VII has a really strong narrative a playable flashback, specifically because that flashback comes back. And it's like, it's considered like one of the coolest parts of the game. It leaves you with more questions than answers, which I think is a big part of flashbacks. If you're gonna do flashbacks, they need to add something, not take something away. And a lot of people use flashbacks as answers to questions. Like, here's the answer to the mystery. It's a flashback. And like, that's a disappointing way to answer an interesting question. Whereas if you have an interesting question and then you do what Final Fantasy VII did and they're like, here's a flashback that only creates more questions, and also like might not even like, you know, might have, Cloud like blacks out a lot during the flashback, so we don't even know whether it's 100% the truth and all that. That is a great way of doing a flashback. Also a flashback where what happens in it impacts the game. So if you choose to do certain things in the flashback, like say the flashback is in a town and you choose to do certain things in the flashback and then you go to the town and you see the town's impacted, that can be kind of cool, but like mostly you need to tie whatever action you are taking in that flashback to the narrative in a really good, like meaningful way for the player to not feel like they've just spent a whole bunch of time learning backstory and doing nothing else, you know? Yeah. Spoiled a huge reveal out of left field. Oh, interesting. Naruto flashbacks. Oh, flashbacks when they're introducing a new thread with new characters. Yeah, that's, see, like adding, yeah. Sure. Of course, Jade. It's a cute Zelda game about animal people. Is the writing that important? Sorry, it depends on what kind of player you are. For some people, narrative is the primary reason that they play games. For some people, it's a secondary reason. For some people, they don't care about it at all. And then there's some people who don't think that they care about narrative, but actually they really do. And I think that that's the big thing about narrative games, is that I think a lot of people think that they don't care about narrative, but then when they play a game where the narrative is missing, either because like the environments feel empty, the world doesn't feel real, it doesn't feel unique compared to other games, they don't know what they're doing, they don't know why they're doing what they're doing in the story, people tend to feel that and they tend to not like the game as much, even if they don't point to the narrative as a reason why. People will say that the game feels empty, or it feels generic, or it feels boring, or there was nothing to do, and like people will use all these kinds of other ways to talk about the game, when what they're trying to say is, I didn't find a way to like make the actions I was taking in the game meaningful. And there's a lot of different ways that you can do that, but I think a lot of people want a goal that they're building towards. And for a game like this, the story is going to be a significant part of that. And so you don't necessarily need to have an interesting narrative, but it's much better to have an interesting narrative. It's a cute Zelda game about animal people. I don't think that diminishes the fact that it's a cute game or a cute Zelda game or about animal people. I don't think that diminishes the narrative. And also, if anything, Zelda games have really strong narratives, generally speaking. Wind Waker, Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask. like all of the big Zelda games, Breath of the Wild as well, although Breath of the Wild was way more about the gameplay than most Zelda games. The thing people like about Zelda games is the narrative. They like the lore, they like the characters, they like the feel, they like the vibe. All of that is narrative design. All of that is narrative design. So I think you maybe need to broaden. Narrative design is not just the writing. It's not just literally the words that appear on the screen. It's about much, much more than that. It's about like atmosphere and aesthetic and vibe and meaning and direction and goals. It's like about a lot of things. Yeah. A victim of its own early game setup. Oh, hello. I should pause because I'm just letting the time run. Should there be times when the story isn't important compared to the actual gameplay? Oh, yes, absolutely. Absolutely. There's a lot of games where part of knowing how to narrative design for those games is knowing how to put as little narrative in the words as possible and put as much narrative as possible into the world itself. I think like Onsen Master is a game like that. Arcade games, Overcooked, like these kinds of games, you don't need a narrative for them at all, but the narrative helps add the charm to the world by just like giving you that little bit extra and stylizing everything. Okay, hang on, I'm catching up. Yeah, the same experience happened to me with Octopath Jenna. Yeah, I agree with that too, Jade, because that would have, even just like small little scenes together would have been nice. So there is an interwoven narrative, they just didn't communicate that up front to people in Octopath, Jade? Okay, I've caught up. You play Zelda for the dungeons and puzzles and story, so it was a disappointment. Yeah, I get that. I get that. For me, the exploration experience in Breath of the Wild was so strong, I didn't mind as much, but I did, like, one of the things that does sadden me about Breath of the Wild is that, like, I wanted even more towns. But the towns that they had were really great. And I liked the story that it told. But I can see how that would be disappointed because it doesn't have nearly the like character that like Wind Waker does, you know? Narrative design and directing often overlap. So if you want to think of like a narrative designer as like half a director of like a movie, the director, like, you know, tells the actors how they should act and how this character actually portrays themselves and like how maybe to change that line read and maybe the props need to be readjusted in the background. Like it doesn't make sense for this character to have that. Narrative designers do a lot of that kind of work, like, oh, it doesn't make sense for her to be a magic user because of this, that, and the other. Those kinds of things. Narrative design, like, overlaps just with a lot of other potential roles in development, but that's an easier way to think about it, that it's not just narrative systems or the writing of the literal story or just, like, managing branches in the story, but it can also be a lot of directing and working with other departments to merge visions and to make sure that everything is really cohesive and to like make sure that the marketing is consistent with the reality that the game presents. And yeah, there's kind of no end to the ways that narrative design you like at a certain, like in AAA, for example, narrative designers don't actually write any amount of the story because they're too busy. They're too busy doing other things. They don't actually even touch the story at that level. Most, like the lead narrative designers. They do not write it, usually. It depends on with every project, because like any creative endeavor, it depends, but generally speaking. Oh, that stinks! Post-game diary clips? You enjoy the Zelda games that don't push the story quite as hard? Between Worlds? Ooh, Between Worlds was so good. I'm not eating no babies. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. You can ignore bad writing or characters if you enjoy the characters. It's why Kingdom Hearts has such a devoted fan base. Yeah, Kingdom Hearts has like... The thing about Kingdom Hearts is that the story is absolute bonkers. The story is bonkers. And they eventually add on so many rules to their universe that like you can't keep track of anything and it all falls apart. But the heart of Kingdom Hearts is really strong. The core messaging of Kingdom Hearts is really strong. It's very sincere. Not Kingdom Hearts 3, that game's bad. But the rest of them, really strong, really sincere. The like friendship, man. Love. It's really strong. The characters also, it's basically any character that was introduced in Kingdom Hearts 1 and like and Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories, and like quite a few of the characters introduced in Kingdom Hearts 2 are all great. Because they all have like defined personalities and also purposes for existing. But then as they continued to add on more games, their purposes for existing started to become really muddled and they started to overlap together. And now we've got multiple characters who are literally clones of each other or functioning in the narrative in the like, oh, this was supposed to be Roxas, but now it's Xeon, but now it's not, but now it's Roxas' Sora, but now like, then we go off towards that direction where nothing's meaningful anymore. But I think people still really like Kingdom Hearts because the cores were so solid. It doesn't matter all of the wild stuff that they added on as the series kept going because the cores were solid and people identified with the cores of the characters. Yeah, let's beat the boss. Let's go. Sup? Also, hi, Violet. Oh, it's on cooldown. Got it. How do I know when it's not on cooldown? Where's the boss's... Oh, there it is. It's on cooldown. Well, I just needed to fireball him to death. Fireball. The shrines were a poor replacement for the dungeons, I agree. I didn't like the dungeons. I didn't like the beasts that they put in there, but I'm actually not a huge dungeon fan in Zelda, so the fact that they were short, I liked. But I am in the minority there, it seems. Breath of the Wild, I agree. Breath of the Wild doesn't feel like a Zelda game in the same way that other Zelda games do. You liked the lack of towns, gave you a scope of how much the world had lost. Yeah. I agree. They cut the Picori. Oh no, they were gonna have the Minish it. No, I didn't know that. That's so upsetting. I said Kingdom Hearts 3 is bad. You're unfollowing. Kingdom Hearts 3 is bad. You just love Aqua and want the world for her. Honestly, Aqua seems like one of the coolest post Kingdom Hearts 2 characters that they introduced, I would say. I don't care about literally anybody else, but Aqua, I was always sad that I didn't play Birth by Sleep to meet her. Kingdom Hearts 3 was basically nothing but let's put a cap on this character arc, the game. Like, Kingdom Hearts 3 was literally just let's wrap up loose ends, the game. It was not good. It was not good for the same reason that splitting The Hobbit into 3 movies wasn't good. It was just not an actual story in that game. Also gave me migraines so bad. So that definitely did not help. Da, 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 da. Ooh. Oh, this is very Breath of the Wild. I see glowing rock, I say it's Breath of the Wild. Well, that's cool. We did it! We did it! We did it! Yay! What did we do? I don't know. Da, 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 da. I won't teleport all the way home. I'll see if I can go talk to the bear. Also, cheers, Tama-san. Oh, leave me alone. Leave me alone, you joiks. See, and like with Harry Potter, it was maybe justified for them to split the movies into 2, but then, yeah, I really wish that they hadn't, because the trend that it's set up has been nothing but like but bad. It's been nothing but bad. I literally can't think of a single thing where I was like, yeah, that was good. It was good that they split that. It was good that they split it up in that. Like, you could have split The Hobbit into 2 movies. They planned to split The Hobbit into 2 movies. Then they got surprised. Actually, it's 3 movies. When you surprise, turn a story that's succinct in 2 movies into 3 movies. When you turn it from 6 hours to 9 hours, you mess up the story flow. I don't know if I needed to tell you guys that. I don't know if you knew that. Okay, but like, where am I gonna get like my tools? Like, I want a watering can. Okay, but can you give me a watering can? Please. A whole heap of tasks coming our way. Is some of those tasks farming? Please? It is! Let's learn to farm at 2 a.m. Okay, so now they're just giving us this is where to go to do things. Okay, but can I? Okay, but can you give me like a hammer? Okay, but can you give me like a hammer? Kiki! Who's Kiki? Oh, right, Kiki. Okay, good. So that's how we're... Okay, so we just need to talk to Kiki again, and she will give us the things, I think. I really like how they have the camera set up in this game. Have you guys noticed it zooming in and out as we're talking to people? It's really organic. They do it really smoothly. It doesn't make me sick at all. That's something to be said, because a lot of games don't do it that well. KH3 left so many loose ends, yeah. And her VA didn't emote very well. Oh. Oh, goodbye, Kate. Thanks for coming. A while ago. Oh, really? Wait, so there's people saying... For you, bad is the absence of good, and you think both had a lot of good. I don't think that it works that way. I mean, you're perfectly fine. That's a perfectly valid way to interpret it. I'm not saying that you're wrong. But for me, the way I think about it is I break it down and I see, do all of these pieces, when combined, create a better whole? Or when you break down the pieces, is there something that is detracting from the product? Because if you're trying to tell a story or you're trying to make a game or whatever, then you need to think about what that thing is trying to be. And we want to make sure that the art, the gameplay, the soundscape, the writing, you want to make sure that everything is holistically working together to achieve your objective. If 3 of those things are really good and 1 of those things is not bad, usually it doesn't tank the whole game, but it can significantly hamper the experience. Cough cough, see Final Fantasy VII-R, a game that was so close to being completely perfect, and yet. Or rather, see my narrative design video on it on the Patreon. A lot of people will respectfully disagree with me. I understand, but in my opinion, the narrative design of Final Fantasy VII-R held it back from being a hands-down incredible game. And that upsets me a lot because so many brilliant artists put a ton of work into that game, and I wish that they had handled the narrative design better, because then it would have been a slam dunk. So for me, because then you're saying that, like, basically something has to have literally nothing good in it to be bad, and that's just not the case. You can have food that has great ingredients and is still inedible. You know what I mean? You can have a lot of things that should add up, but when you put them all together, it makes for a completely unappealing experience as well. So it's something that you have to consider holistically, or at least I consider holistically, because I work in this field. And like, it's my job to look at it holistically. I think there's a way to combine arcs over movies without making it bad. The thing is, though, you have to but you have to have the arcs within the movie. With The Hobbit, you can feel when you hit the halfway point of the story, and it's at the end of the first movie, and it's not even actually it's like 3/4 through the end of the first movie. You can feel the narrative hit something. You can feel that there was supposed to be something there, and it's not there anymore because they had to push it, because now it's 3 movies, so they pushed it until the end of the first movie. It just throws the whole pacing of all 3 movies with The Hobbit off. It's like a huge travesty. Also, every scene takes way too long. The pacing is off. It's just, yeah. That's not to say that there's nothing enjoyable about the Hobbit movies, but that is to say that I think that if it were only 2 movies, it would have been a much more enjoyable experience, and a lot of the work that people put into the movie would have shined more. There's like a truism when it comes to storytelling, that essentially says that less is more. Every time. And it's like one of those things that new writers need to learn. That's hard to learn, which is that if you think you should cut something, you should probably cut it, because 90% of the time, cutting it improves the story. It just almost always does. It's almost always better to have less and have it hit you hard than have a lot and have it hit you kind of medium. You know what I mean? I'm not sure if I'm conveying myself eloquently enough here, but oh, a floating book. That's good. Oh, okay. I just have a floating book now. All right. Well, let me go get some tools. Kiki delivery service witch. Dune is huge, though. From everything I understand about Dune, that is a huge book. Hey, it's the Empire! They did bring the Empire in. Okay. See, this is what I mean. I wanted to hold off on casting full judgment because I was like, we don't know what they're gonna do. Okay, so a fortress has been reestablished. It's getting rough out there. The pun. So what? You're just getting rid of our job? Like, what is this? Gaming Council? The Gaming Council has tipped $5 and says, this council recognizes your critical analysis. However, you've been assigned a penalty point for honesty and a perspective that is not totally black or white. Damn it. I gotta figure out some way to make this up to the council. I'll find a way. Thank you, Gaming Council. Whoever you are, you all are. Okay, cool. So now the Empire comes in. So what happens to us? Are we out of a job? I guess it's good that we're gonna be farming. Hazel Dubslane. Probably because they know we've been using magic. Let's go report to the evil ones. Maybe this is gonna be a game where the Empire isn't actually all bad. You know, maybe this is gonna be a game with nuance. It's quite nice here. It's as smooth as mac and cheese. The world ends with you. Should have failed because nothing should have gone together, but everything somehow clicked together. You sometimes putting a lot of things that don't click together makes them click together. Hang on, I'm reading the chat again. Ah! With Jesse. It takes a lot of bad to remove the good. Oh, that's fair. Yeah, I can hear that. But you don't agree that makes them bad. It definitely makes them bad to me, but I can understand if you disagree. I respect that. Yeah. I think Violet, I think I agree. More franchises are interested in just churning out as many movies as possible than in like respecting the artistic integrity of whichever story they're creating, which like stinks because it's one thing to make a lot of money. It's another thing to create a lasting cultural impact. And The Hobbit is not going to have a lasting cultural impact the way The Lord of the Rings did. Just like all of these Marvel movies are not individually going to have a cultural impact, but they're having a huge cultural impact because of this multiverse situation. I don't know. I don't like it. It feels very dystopian to me, but that's because I'm like an artist. And I who value artistic integrity. It is a nice chonk book. And still be essentially the same movie, yeah. And still be essentially the same movie. Okay. Mr. Thunderbun. Being a person with power means that Mother Nature has trusted you to protect people, the world, and maintain peace wherever you go. Okay. All right. Yeah, sure. Why not? Why not? Yeah, I guess. Let's just put all that on us. He was indeed a great scholar. Yes. Tell me, Timmy. Did Mr. whatever his name was, did he have magical powers himself, or was he just looking at people with magical powers and telling them that they literally owe their lives to the world? Please, enlighten me. What a wise man indeed. It's fine. I agree that power should be used responsibly. I just think it's hilarious that they were like, you're obligated to sell your soul. But that's just my American individualism coming in here. Bee stingers. Sure. Why not? Casual, just some casual. Whoa! More party hats. We're getting the, oh no. There we go. They get all tangled up no matter how nice I try to keep them. Turns out, Uncle Ben. You just didn't want to get anybody mad? Oh. It's fine. You guys can like whatever you like and you don't have to agree with any of my opinions on stories or movies or books or whatever. I'm never gonna like the Hobbit trilogy. I think it's bad. You're allowed to think it's good. I don't like the Marvel Universe. I don't like it. I just don't. You can like it. I don't care. It doesn't mean anything about you to like or dislike these kinds of things. We can respectfully disagree without having it mean anything. Especially because, I don't know. I think it's a lot easier to talk about these things when maybe it's because this is my work, so like all stories I approach from like, all right, I'm critically analyzing all of these stories because that's, I don't know, because I'm a storyteller myself, so my brain will do it whether I want it to or not, you know? So that's just the way that I approach things. But sometimes I think that maybe for people who aren't used to following things in that way, maybe it comes off like I'm trying to, especially because like there's a lot of times when I'm like, I don't like this one, like with Final Fantasy VII-R. I don't like this one, I do not like the narrative design of Final Fantasy VII-R. I get most passionately upset about things that are holding back a great game from being fantastic or a great movie from being fantastic. I get most passionately upset about things that are doing that. But that doesn't mean that I dislike Final Fantasy VII-R. I don't dislike it, and I don't think it was a bad game by any means. But I think that sometimes, maybe just because people aren't used to approaching things in this same way, or maybe because I'm just like very like definite and confident about my opinions, maybe it sounds like I'm trying to be like, everybody needs to think the same way that I do, or like I'm right and you're wrong, or even, you know, like maybe it sounds like I have more of my personal identity tied to these individual things than I actually do. I don't care. I don't tie my identity to media franchises anymore. I haven't done that since I was a kid. Sometimes it bums me out that I don't, because it seems fun to, but I just don't think that for me, especially with like when trying to analyze stories objectively, it makes it a lot harder when your identity is tied to it and when like, you know, somebody criticizing it feels very personal. So I just don't tend to do that anymore. But I do think that like, I don't know, what I'm trying to say is, don't worry if I don't like something or if I even passionately hate something that you love. Just because I hate it doesn't mean I'm right. And these things are subjective and you're allowed to like whatever you like for whatever reason. Just like I'm allowed to criticize it and say that it's awful and terrible and should never have existed in the first place. And that's fine. There's a lot of things that I really love that people are like, this is a travesty that has been visited upon the world, and I'm like, nah. With 10 party hats, yes, the ways. The ways! Sometimes you want to hear a really complex, multifaceted story of grays and browns, and other times you want to see a himbo punch a Nazi in the face with the power of friendship. Okay, but here's the thing. Sorry. And again, I'm not attacking you, but I think that this is a really interesting point that comes up. Hi, Granny. I think this is a really interesting point that comes up. I think a lot of people feel like good stories need to be complex, especially in this day and age with like Marvel and everything. I think a lot of people feel like in order for a story to be good, it needs to be complex, or it needs to be dark, it needs to be morally ambiguous, it needs to be like adult, in the same way that like, you know, Superman, the most recent Superman movies are really boring and sad and like grim and dark and bad, in my opinion. And I think that a lot of people confuse like good narrative for that kind of complex narrative, especially especially because of how YouTube has influenced how people are looking at media. But there's a good and any story can be told well, including really simple stories about just black and white, good, bad, evil, here we go. And I actually think that the black and white, really simple stories are, first of all, really undervalued in our society at this moment in time. But second of all, almost more difficult to do properly because it's a lot easier to like suspend your disbelief in a world that's morally gray because we relate to it. And it's a lot harder, especially right now at this moment in time, to get people to suspend their disbelief in a story that is just purely black and white, good versus evil. Even when we want that, even when we want the fairy tale where it's like really simple. So I don't think that I think each story can be really good, and each story requires a lot of skill to do well. And I think that it's like those unfortunate YouTube people who have made people think that because something's really complex and intricate, that means that it's good. I'm looking at you, Nomura. I'm looking at you. It's fine. Again, nobody has to agree with me, but I hate Nomura's stories. It's fine, but I hate them. All right, reading again. I'm sorry, I keep getting like off into tangents and then I'm not playing the game because I'm reading things. No, not Twilight Princess Jenna, how could you? What did I go to school for? I have a Bachelor of Arts in English and Creative Writing. I also had a minor in theater. Yeah, looking at things with a critical eye, sometimes I wish that I could turn off that part of my brain to like just enjoy stories. And it's just really hard for me, cause like the problem is that like I'll be enjoying something and then I'll see something that just like demolishes my suspension of disbelief in the story, or like, Final Fantasy VII R did this, and it's a really minor thing, so it's not like a spoiler to tell you, but there was a character that a minor character that I really liked in Final Fantasy VII R. And then they had to explain his backstory. And because they explained his backstory, it literally negated the reason that I liked him. Like, I liked him for a specific reason. And then in telling the backstory, they told me, no, it's not actually like that. He's doing it for a worse reason than you thought. And it made me so upset because I really liked it, and they had to take it and make it something that was like actively shitty, actively bad, like actively like sexist. And I was like, why you gotta go and do that now? So it's like one of those things where like I want to enjoy myself, and then I stumble across something where I'm like, why is this bothering me so much? And I have to like figure out why I'm like mad. Like I was enjoying this, why am I mad now? This is the problem, is that I care too much about stories and I can't turn it off. Sometimes I wish I could. I also think that analyzing something isn't just analyzing why something is bad. It's also analyzing what works. When you take apart what doesn't work, you get to see all of the things that do work as well. Which is what I was saying about this game. It's why I didn't want to judge the show don't tell thing, because I wasn't sure where they're going with it. And they might have a show with an empire coming up, and it just didn't make sense to do it that earlier in the story because it was so close to the tutorial, you know? Or they might not. But the sound design is really good. This game is really pretty. The camera work is really nice. So far, everything is really cute, and the world is very holistic and approaches everything together. And all of those things are things that I've been saying on stream. But honestly, it's one of those things where anything that you say negatively about something will stand out 100 times more to people than anything good that you say about something. People will want to engage with you when you say that like, oh, the narrative design of Final Fantasy VII R is bad, and they'll want to engage with you more on that than they will when you say, The way that they did the characters, though, was really good. The voice acting was incredible. They wrote Tifa and Aerith in particular so well. Cloud retained his personality, and that was awesome. There was a lot about the environmental design that was good. These are all things that I said in my Final Fantasy VII R video, and yet it still people still walk away from that thinking I hate Final Fantasy VII R, and that's just because anything that you... And also, like, that game was about the narrative design, and I think the narrative design is flawed. So, there you go. But you know what I mean? It's difficult because you can talk as much as you want about the things that are good, but in the end, if you criticize something and you like go deep into why the thing you're criticizing is destabilizing the thing that you're talking about, people will walk away thinking like, oh, you're being too negative, or you didn't like the thing, or, you know, whatever, when it's more of an academic exercise in like basically taking apart a puzzle to try to understand why this piece didn't fit all the other pieces. And one of the things I want to do is talk about, because like the Final Fantasy VIII video kind of ended up more like that, where like there's a core flaw in Final Fantasy VIII, but that video was much more about discovering that Final Fantasy VIII is a lot better than most of us remember it as. There was just literally one decision. There was one decision made that holds that entire game back and like doesn't let you see how good it actually is, because so much of what's good about it is buried because they made that one critical decision that hid so much of what was good about the game. I've been wanting to do a narrative design video on a K-drama that I absolutely love because it's the best K-drama I've ever seen, and it basically does everything K-drama right in like the best possible way and is amazing from start to finish. And maybe I should do that because I just dislike that. YouTubers talk about this all the time, how like when you talk about something and you say something negative about it, everybody walks away thinking that you hate it. So it's one of those things where it's like, I don't know. Another part, meow. You can tell how far behind I am. When do people realize they've tied their identity to a media? I think most people don't realize that they've tied their identity to a media franchise until somebody who is part of that media, until either like Indiana Jones steps into the refrigerator and the refrigerator gets nuked and everybody's mad. Somebody who created the thing gets revealed to be a really terrible person and everybody is mad. The thing goes off the rails and now Star Wars just isn't Star Wars like it used to be. Or the thing starts nickeling and diming you and starts taking more than it's giving, a la World of Warcraft. I think those are the moments when people find out that they've tied their identity to something, because when those things happen, they hurt. And if you haven't tied your identity to something, it won't hurt. And also, tying your identity to something is not inherently bad. It's okay to be deeply impacted by games and stories and movies and books and songs. It's okay to be deeply impacted by your connection to an artist or a piece of art. It's okay to have had that influence your worldview to a dramatic extent. We're very story-centric beings. It's kind of how we orient ourselves in the world. So it's not a bad thing to do that. But I do think that tying your identity to something makes it very difficult to hear criticism about them. Like, don't criticize Utada Hikaru. I just like can't. It's not that she's flawless, it's that I don't want to hear it. It's that I don't care. I have many complex thoughts about media that apparently take a very long time to explain. There we go. I did play the sequel to the Moon. I did. It was pretty alright. When you say the new one, do you mean the one that came out, Yellow Ring? Do you mean the one that came out like 4 years ago, or do you mean, was there a more recent one? Yeah. Oh, you don't think that just existing for fun is an excuse for what, in your opinion, is bad writing? I think it depends on the story. I think there's a kind of tone that you can strike where just having things for fun is totally fine. But like, that's not going to be a match for every story, you know? So it depends on the tone. Most of the time, they're just fun, dumb adventure movies. Sorry. That's why I love Fast and Furious. I haven't seen all the. I love bad movies. Like, this is the thing. This is the thing about me that, like, people think that because I criticize games and I'm like, this thing is holding it back from being great, it means that, like, I hate the things. I literally love bad things. I love things that are bad for wild reasons. They fill me with life. I don't even, like, ironically love them. It's not an ironic love. I don't love bad things because it's cool and funny to love bad things. I love bad things because they're awesome. Because somebody's just like, I'm gonna go out here and make this decision and it doesn't matter whether it works because I wanted to do it, and I respect that so much. And I think it's fun. I think it's fun to watch it and to see how it didn't work or it did work, or to be surprised by where the story is going because it doesn't make sense for it to go there, and I love it. I loved the most recent Star Wars movie, the Rise of Skywalker. I freaking loved that movie. The story's horrible, but I loved that movie. It was so fun. And like, nobody agrees with me, but I loved it. The whole time I was just like, this is great. Like, I was the only I saw it on opening night. I was the only person in the theater who left happy. Like, I was like, that was amazing. And like, everybody else was like silent around me. And I was like, I don't think these people like the movie. Which Nomura stories didn't I like? I don't like what happened with Kingdom Hearts. I don't like how Final Fantasy... Basically, games that Nomura heads. I think that Nomura is having a little bit of the George Lucas phenomenon, where like, he did Final Fantasy VII, and he also did... Well, he did parts of... He was part of the team for Final Fantasy VII, and part of the team for a lot of the old Final Fantasies, and then they just gave him things wholesale. And I think he has a lot of great strengths as a storyteller. I don't think he should be the primary storyteller on a project, because I think that he tends to make narratives that are so big and complex and complicated that it's really difficult for anybody else to kind of distill that and communicate it to players who are just entering for the first time. So like Final Fantasy 13, anything that happened after Kingdom Hearts 2, Final Fantasy 7R, and a lot of the spin-offs of Final Fantasy 7 qualify, like Dirge of Cerberus, like a lot of those kinds of things. I just think he gets a little bit too caught up in how cool it would be to explore these ideas, and then he starts treating the characters like they're pawns where you have to move the character from point A to point B, instead of like they're people who have desires that want to move them from point A to point B. You know what I mean? Hopefully that's making sense. When did Nomura, girl, when did Nomura tip me? Pika Girl, thank you for following. Enjoy your apprenticeship here. And Nomura, hello, my friend. You have tipped me $5. And say, well then, I see Gauntlet has been thrown down. Here I was just enjoying my day, and boom, slammed down to the ground. Just for that, I'm gonna put even more shadows and nonsense in Final Fantasy 7 R2. Oh man, the shadows weren't even my problem. The shadows were not. This is the thing. Everybody thinks that I don't like Final Fantasy 7 R for the reason that most people didn't like it, and that's not actually the reason I didn't like it. I don't necessarily have an issue with those things. I have an issue with more of the structure of the narrative design as a whole, but... Alright, Nomura. Listen, just have a co-writer. That's all I'm asking. That's fair. What character? Oh, Azure Guardian. I'm sorry, I don't remember what I was saying at the time that refers to. Well, it's like what happened with Game of Thrones. They had a story going, and then because somebody on Reddit predicted what was supposed to happen, they changed where the story was going because they wanted it to be a twist that nobody had ever thought of before. And I don't know where the thought that it has to be something that nobody can guess in order for it to be a good story comes in, because that's not actually like, stories have a structure. They follow a pathway. They do things that make sense. And you can always make a story completely unpredictable. Here, I'll show you. In the middle of a Game of Thrones fight, a flying pink unicorn comes down and spits rainbows on the battlefield, raising everybody and killing the entire main cast. What a twist! Nobody saw it coming! But that doesn't make it good. So they do those kinds of things, and I'm like, that's bad. Like, that's bad. Like, changing where your story is going because somebody guessed it is bad. If you're telling a good story, some people are probably gonna guess it, just because with Game of Thrones, there were literally millions of people watching it, so it would have been really hard for nobody to guess it because you have millions of people trying to guess it, you know what I mean? It doesn't mean you're a bad writer if one person out of 30 million guessed the story. I just don't, which character for Final Fantasy VII R? I think his name was Lindsay. Oh, it just makes you depressed. Oh, that's sad. Sorry. Have I streamed long? I have streamed long RPGs like Final Fantasy, yeah. I'm in the middle of a Final Fantasy IX playthrough, don't tell anybody. Because they feel like you're personally attacking the writers or something. Yeah, there's a whole, like, a lot of it can be, I don't know, I think that it can be hard for people to get that professional distance from their own work. Like, it can be hard, and like, I'm not gonna act like getting criticism on your work is easy. I'm like, I live in fear of the criticism, and then when it happens, I'm like, you know, I take a minute and I'm like, do I agree with this criticism or do I not agree with the criticism? And oftentimes, like, a lot of the time I disagree with the criticism because it's like coming from somebody who's not also a writer, so they're like, you know, like, I didn't like this character, they shouldn't have done that. And I'm like, okay, well, like, that's not the same thing as, like, that's not the same thing as criticizing the story. Like, not liking a character is not the same thing as saying that a story is bad. There are, in fact, stories where you have to not like the characters in order to enjoy, like, the point is to not like the characters. Disliking aspects of the story does not mean that you dislike the story. It's fine, but, like, definitely YouTube has, like, made people approach stories in, like, this really weird way where you have to love every aspect of it, or else it means you're, like, mean and bad. And I don't know, I don't understand. I also did go to, like, I did do this in an academic context, so I did literally have the, like, fear of criticism beaten out of me because we would have, like, that was a specific thing that my school focused on. When you go into English and creative writing, in all writing classes, you have to sit there and take criticism from literally every single other person in the class and not respond. And it's like an aspect that they teach you how to, you learn how to cope with criticism by just having a lot of people criticize your stuff. So, yeah. Oh no, it's okay. I mean, the streams are narrative design streams, so it's not bad for me to stop playing the game, although I am sorry if it's boring. Oh right, yes, Utada did come out as non-binary. I have to get used to using they them pronouns. Ugh, dear, my bad. Utada Hikaru is a J-pop queen. The most recent Squad movie. Okay, got it. Utada did a song called Hikari, but their name is Hikaru. They haven't said whether they prefer they them pronouns. They've just said that they came out as non-binary. Yes, you can. I have a list of all of the games that I have ever played. That might be it. Another party hat? I have been here before. You no longer believe it's possible to like something ironically. Honestly, the concept of liking something ironically confuses me. I think it's just a way for people to distance themselves from the fact that they like things that are like objectively not that good. And I think that that's fine. It's fine to like things that are objectively not good. It's fine to, I love Final Fantasy VIII and that game is flawed. I love a lot of things that are, I love Final Fantasy X too and that game is flawed. But I love it. Yeah. Model Land? I really want to read Model Land. Nomura did character design for Final Fantasy VII? Gotcha. Hi, Blasty. Sorry, I'm so far behind. Give me a second. I'll try not responding to everybody. Predictable is not bad, I agree. I didn't even watch Game of Thrones, but I have heard and watched enough people talk about it to be like, LOL, glad I never invested like 10 years of my life in that franchise. I mean, I'm sorry to everybody who did. I like literally couldn't. It wasn't an option for me because of the content of that series, so I just like literally couldn't, but like, LOL. You do not like Final, I love Final Fantasy VIII. I love Final Fantasy VIII. I love watching K-dramas, and a lot of K-dramas are bad, let me tell you, except for Crash Landing on You. If I do that, if I do a K-drama narrative design, it's gonna be on Crash Landing on You, and it's because Crash Landing on You is the best K-drama that I've ever seen in my entire life. It's literally the best one. I don't know what to tell you, it's the best one. It's literally the best. I'm surprised that they didn't, because here's the thing. Let me explain something to you about K-drama syndrome. K-dramas literally do this, where K-dramas, so like they're filmed in like extremely unhealthy environments, extremely unhealthy production schedules, like it's a whole thing, it's really bad. But what ends up happening is that means that the K-dramas are often filming the last like 2 to 3 episodes of the K-drama, like as the show is being aired. So the writers, like, and the producers will make the writers sit there and wait for netizens, for citizens of the net in Korea to comment about the K-drama and say like who their favorite characters are and whatever, and then they'll rewrite the ending of the K-drama to fit whatever it is that the netizens want. So if everybody disagrees about like the main lead, they'll rewrite the end of the story, and you can tell there's so many K-dramas where like the story is amazing, and then suddenly you hit an episode and either the story doesn't exist anymore, or suddenly everybody's being hit by cars, they're all going into comas, people are dying in house fires, people are like traumatized, there's clones, there's twins, there's so much, like what, you can always tell when a K-drama hits that moment where like, boom, they didn't have, you can also tell because the cinematography gets a lot weaker, there's just a lot less like interest in the shots. It's mostly standard like A-B shots. It's not a lot of like cool cinematography anymore because they ran out of time, literally. Not a lot of cool sets. They have to work within specific, that's the thing, you can't create a great climax to the story if you're waiting to film it until like the last 2 weeks before it literally airs, and now you can't book location shots, so you just have to record, like you're limited in even where you can record it. Like where you can write the characters appearing. So if there was like an important location that's on like Jeju Island, well, good luck, you can't go to Jeju Island anymore to film, you've only got a week left. You know what I mean? It's just like a disaster. K-dramas are, yeah, K-dramas are like soap operas. I love K-dramas because they are one of the most wild things that you will ever watch. Like, K-dramas are when you take a story, and basically, as you're writing the story, every time you have that, maybe this character can go do this. Wouldn't that be wild if they did that? And then you answer, yes, it would be. And you write it into the script, and you just keep doing that forever. That's a K-drama. It's amazing. It's amazing. I love it. Watch Crash Landing on You. It's really good. You might get spoiled on it though. Maybe watch a worse K-drama before watching Crash Landing on You so you can really appreciate it. You like Final Fantasy X too? I love Final Fantasy X too. The dress fears are amazing. Model and Book Club. Magic Supermodel Boarding School? I didn't even realize that that's what it was. K-dramas are still better than J-dramas, but I almost wonder if that's like a cultural thing because I've tried watching J-dramas and I'm like, I don't get it. So I feel like that may be part of it. A lot of times, not all the time, Violet, but a lot of times. Crash Landing on You did not do that. Crash Landing on You is definitely something that they had the script and they wrote the whole script and then they sent the script to the actors. They got the actors in on it. The actors wanted to do it. And then like everything, because Crash Landing on You is about North Korea, which makes it sound like it's gonna be really sad, but it's not. It's great. It's fantastic. Just, I promise. But it's about North Korea. So they had to write out the whole script and they had to figure out where they were gonna film it and they had to get all the props and like, they had to run it by historians and they ran it by people who had fled from North Korea who are now South Korean citizens to like make sure that the details were correct and that they were kind of like representing things in still a like embellished way, obviously, because we don't want to show like the worst things on screen, but they wanted to accurately portray the good things about North Korea as well. So like they had to do all this stuff. So the whole script was written and they had a good writer. They had a good writer. I didn't see it, Yellow Ring. Yeah, more like telenovelas. They're usually only 12 to 24 episodes, but usually around like 12 to 14. I have a book club on the Patreon. I don't intend to do any book club streams because they physically hurt me. They used up too many spoons and they hurt me. So I swapped to doing the book club on the Patreon because it was easier for me to like find time when I had the spoons to record and when I knew I wasn't gonna be like talking a lot to use my voice. But I'm not sure that people are that interested in having the book club on the Patreon, so I'm not sure if I'm gonna continue with it there. I'm trying to decide what to do about it. The show sounded like a passion. What, Crash Landing on You? Crash Landing on You, also, I have to say this, Crash Landing on You has two of literally the biggest and best actors in Korea in it. Like, literally, the guy who like, started, wink wink, the guy who started the Hallyu Wave, the Korean wave, the actor, Hyunbin, he's in it. And then, oh, I always forget her name. Nope, don't remember her name. But also one of the biggest actresses in Korea. And they're both really talented. They're both super good at acting. And like, they added so much to the characters and the scenes. And like, everybody, it's just like, literally like, and the villain's really amazing. Like, yeah, there's just so much that is stellar. Usually you watch a K-drama and you're like, the actors are really good, but these actors are not good and the plot sucks. But you watch it anyways, and like, this is just one where just like, everything was a banger and I just like, I don't even know how they did it, but I'm so grateful that they did. I was not expecting to be consumed, but I started watching that show and I got consumed. So don't start watching it at like 2 a.m. because I did, and I definitely stayed up until 8 a.m. watching it. It was really good. I'm obsessed with it. They just tied everything in really well. It's fine. I'm gonna eventually do a narrative design video. I just need to watch it again. And I don't know that I'm ready. I don't know that my heart is ready for that experience again. Wait, what do I need to do? Oh, okay, well. I'll buy one of these. Did I get tools? Where do I get the tools? Do I just go talk to the... Where do I get the tools? Yeah, spoons. I'm not sure I understand what you're saying. Sorry, is that a joke or? I'm not sure what you mean. Oh! Okay, I thought you meant that you linked like a show in Writing Witchery. No, I saw the soap opera that you wrote. I saw it. I don't know where to get my... Is this open now? Okay, so it just wasn't open on the first day. Okay, let me see if I can like... Maybe I just need to sell some stuff so I have more room. Oh, you don't get to know the sell price until you sell something for the first time, it seems like. Well, then I'll sell one of everything. Just to know how much everything is. Oh no, I don't want to sell all of it. I just wanted to sell the one. Just let me sell one thing. What is this? Vengeful Soul. Okay. Alright, chill out. Calm down. Vengeful Soul to you too. Have a good one. Have a very vengeful soul, I suppose. Nope, stop, cease. Alright, I'm back. There we go. The game is really good. The game is pretty fun so far. I'm enjoying it. Let's get one of these. Oh. Let's get these two. Can I... Is there like a tool? Oh, that's interesting. So just pressing the button just makes him run over to the closest thing. That's pretty interesting. Oh, you said something about like the good things about North Korea, and I couldn't tell if you were joking about that or not. But if you listen to people who have left North Korea, one of the things that they talk about is that like as much as living there was like a total struggle, the thing that they like, the one thing that they like really miss compared to South Korea is that there was more of a sense of community. Like everybody was struggling through it together and people were generally very happy because they could rely on each other. Whereas when a lot of North Korean refugees come to South Korea, they tend to find it like there's not as much of a community feeling. You're kind of all on your own and you have to figure out your way alone, and like they miss that community feeling. That's one of the most interesting things that I've heard from them, in fact. All right, let's go with the axe. I wonder if there's an easier way to swap between different weapons required? Can I... Shortcut. Nice! Yes! That's great. Yeah, that too. Well, there is an entirely different culture of things in North Korea. There's just an entirely different culture, and like people do help each other out and stuff like that. So I can totally see it. You know, even here in America, we all like move away from our families, and that's normal. Whereas like in times gone by, it was not considered normal to do that. You would stick with your family forever. Basically, you would like stay around your nuclear family. So I think in like North Korea that didn't really change. You still spend most of your time with your nuclear family and with like your community and everybody knows each other. And that really isn't a thing here so much. So I get that. Oh, wait, oh dear, no, I don't think anybody should be talking about how great North Korea is. I don't know that is okay. Not that, I said I don't know that is ... and then as a new sentence I said, okay. Yeah, that's interesting. The world out here's strange. Equip. There we go. What did it only plant one thing? But it had, hang on. I see. Okay, 1 seed for 1 spot, but you can plant 9 at one time. Interesting. Move out of your parents' house and live far away. Yeah. Yeah, my German family is very traditional, and so they all still, well, except for the kids, but most of them lived in the same town. And so, like, having gotten to experience that kind of life, I understand why people would miss it, because I literally miss it. I wish I had that here, but it's just not something that is possible here in the same way anymore. It's just not really feasible for people to do that anymore, which sucks. Hey, Mini Mina! Enjoy your lurk. Yeah, I don't think that yeah, yes, I agree, sorry. I don't know that is the takeaway, that should be the takeaway there. That's nice. All of my, like, aside from my immediate family, meaning my immediate sisters and parents, the rest of my family is, whoop. The rest of my family is literally in Germany, so they're international. Hi, Don! I want to go buy more seeds. I wonder where I'm gonna find more, like, rocks and stuff to dig. I also wonder if they count things that are in your shipping bin as part of your inventory. They do not. Okay. Alright, let's... How much money do I have? 2,000 bucks? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sure, take 5 of you. I'll take 9 of you. And I'll take 9 potatoes. There we go, we're good. Thank you! I'm thinking it suits me. Yeah, I feel that. I literally don't have... The friend who moved up here from Kansas is the only person that I know here that is connected to my past in any way. Everybody else is new. And like in a lot, like I feel that absence. I feel, especially because a lot of my friends stayed in my hometown, like I feel the absence. It's a real thing. So I am not one to poo-poo the fact that like capitalism kind of forces us to be displaced from the places where we grew up and our families and all that. I don't think it's the best, but it's also not necessarily out of step with like what humans have experienced for all of history, you know what I mean? So I do like that this is a really fast way to plant seeds. Nice. Now I just have to water all of them. At least I don't think we have stamina gauges for this. You know, I don't think you can run out of energy watering your plants. Which basically just means you can make as much money as you want, now that I think about it, actually. The scalability. Cheers, Ronnie. You pretty much had to rebuild your friendship from scratch. I mean, yeah, people change a lot over time. And it's really hard to keep, it's like genuinely really hard to keep contact with people who don't share your same geographic landscape. It's just difficult. It's just hard. My family in Kansas knows so much more about each other than they know about like anything going on in my life, and then I know about anything going on in their lives just because of the distance. And if we want to see each other, we gotta like schedule a call over time zones, and we gotta sit down and we gotta find the time to do that, and it's not a thing where I could just casually go over to my mom and dad's house. You know what I mean? So I feel that. Okay. I want to build things, but I need to figure out where to get more, like, trees and rocks. One thing that I can tell you, sorry, from having lived in small towns myself, is that in small towns, you learn, like, people learn how to chill out about certain things as a matter of survival. Like, my hometown was a purple town, so because it had a university and a military base next to it, we had like all kinds of people, including the like old, really red Republicans. And that town was actually a really nice place to live because everybody kind of was like, whatever, you do your thing and I'm not gonna talk about it. Because that was the only way to like survive and not hate everybody, is just to be like, whatever, you do you and I'm gonna do me, shut up. So I think that that's one aspect of it, is that people, you kind of learn how to, you know, maneuver around certain things when that's your only option to do so. I think probably part of why conversation has become so difficult nowadays is because we can literally just turn people off and block them and never speak to them again when we want to. And so a lot of people don't develop the like methods for how to like de-escalate and find a safe way to end an unpleasant conversation, because you don't have to know how to do that anymore. You can literally just leave. There's like millions of people that you could be interacting with instead, so you can just leave at any time. You know what I mean? I don't know if that's true, but I wonder about it because of my experience. I feel that, Violet. I feel that. That was gonna be, like, if I move back to my family, that's my plan. Well, in the Amish, you know... Oh, okay, I guess I can't hit you. Can I hit you with... Okay, you can't... Okay. Cannot do damage that way. I wish there were more shortcut slots. I think that there's always something to learn from other cultures, is what I feel. Like that was the point about bringing up North Korea, is not that like let's just say that North Korea is great, because that's not the case. But I think that, like, learning from people who come from there about what they found disappointing about South Korea, I think that's actually really important. Because that's, like, a really important perspective that we're just not gonna get any other way. You know? And there's always something that you can learn from other people, even if the thing is just, I'm probably not gonna do that. You know, there's always something you can learn. Ugh. Oh yeah, if someone's a bad influence in your life, you don't have to stay in touch with them, definitely. Hard agree. Hard and very full agreeance on that. Oh, that sucks, Wonka. That really sucks. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. De-escalation is an important life skill, and, like, we don't have anywhere to go learn that. I don't even know how to learn de-escalation. I would love to, like, refine my ability to de-escalate things because I don't know that I'm even good at it. Like, who's good at that? And I would love to know how to do that. Goodbye, Yellow Ring. Thanks for hanging out. Yeah, small town gossip is very funny to me. I don't know, I don't know, I guess I just don't get it. It's fine. I just don't get a lot of things. I don't, my values don't align with other people's on many things. So like town gossip, I don't get it, doesn't bother me. And I can say that from experience, having been to a lot of small towns where I was the gossip. The thing is that it's really hard to blend in when you're brown and most everybody else is white. It's really hard to not stick out and have everybody talk about you. Especially when you've just moved there, or you're visiting, or, you know, you're just doing things that maybe are not the things that the other people around you think is the way you should conduct yourself. I don't know, but like my mom was always really intense about, because my mom, you know, grew up in a village in Germany. She was always really intense about that kind of thing, about like small town gossip. People could be talking, what will people think if you do XYZ, etc. Maybe that's part of why I grew up and was like, I don't care. I decided I don't care, Mom, leave me alone. I took too long getting here, I think. I'm from Kansas City! Hey! Yeah, you probably know. The Little Apple! You probably know! Oh, it's fun. Happy to see another Kansan out here. I have a lot of family out in Kansas City. And that's probably where I would move to if I moved back to Kansas. A spook! A spook! We have a graveyard! With spooks! I wonder if I even need to go to sleep in this game. Because it's not like I have stamina to worry about with farming, you know? Woo! Run! 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 Dang. Gotta get better tools for those. Oh, office gossip? I don't care. Office gossip? Yeah. I don't even know. I just don't care. I don't know. I feel like I'm like, somehow in all of the spaces I'm in, I just don't get involved with that kind of stuff, because when I see it, I'm like, I'm so mentally checked out that I don't think I'm a fun person to gossip with, because I'm like that person who's like, I don't see anything wrong with that, and I'm like not fun because I'm not like, you know, I'm not like, I don't know, I just don't care. I decided I don't care, Mom. My friend Sherry is seeing Catherine's husband, Benjamin, behind her back. It's like, oh, that sounds like, you know what that sounds like? That sounds like a situation you should stay far away from if you want to enjoy a peaceful life. So this is a problem with me. I've been around the block. People say some juicy stuff like that, and I'm like, yeah, but I want to be able to go home and not have my phone blow up. So, if you don't mind. Like, I just wanted to go home and eat a piece of chocolate and, like, get high while watching a bunch of objectively bad TV. What do you want? I want to go home and watch House Hunters. What do you want from me? I tell you what, though, I'm in charge of my time, so if somebody's gonna come to me and try to do that kind of thing, I'm just gonna be like, y'all. Yeah, most of Kansas City's downtown is in Missouri. No, I did not. And also, you don't even know. Like, that's my thing about office gossip, is that, like, it's destructive because, like, you don't even know. You don't know that's true. You don't know any of that. Shut up. You don't know what's going on. You don't know what the situation is. Sometimes situations look bad and aren't bad. Sometimes situations look fine and are horrible. So you don't know. Shut up. And also stop judging other people when you are most definitely going to be involved in something that's just as bad as in your lifetime. Nobody escapes. None of us escape. We're all going to be embroiled in some awful shit at some point in our lives, okay? That's just living as a human. It's messy. Short of never going outside again, there's like no way to just not... Literally, just by staying in your house, you could have people mad at you. You know, it's like, it's fine. Like, if you live in one of those neighborhoods where they expect everybody to decorate and then you don't decorate and everybody's like, they don't decorate at that house. You know what I mean? It's fine. Thank you, Dawn. I'll take this one off. Well, I will try. Twitter is gossip on a global scale. That's correct. How do I... That's fair, Violet. I have a lot of big reactions to things sometimes as well, but it can be a bad thing. I was in a business meeting the other day and like somebody pitched, like they were like, hey, what if we did this? And I was like, no. And I was like, oh God, sorry. I shouldn't have like, I just like legitimately was like, never. And I just like should not have responded in that way. But like sometimes I'm like not paying attention to my own mouth and it's a problem. Oh, if see, I'll listen to stuff like that. I'll listen to stuff about like, I'll listen to gossip that doesn't matter. Like, boy, did you see that somebody, I don't know. Wait, I'm trying to think of gossip that doesn't matter. I don't care anymore. I'm like trying to think of juicy stuff. I don't care. The only time that I like really care about gossip is when it's got like protective gossip. First of all, I think gossip about your friends serves an important purpose from a community's function. Gossip is an important thing that happens amongst people. Not all gossip is bad. Hashtag not all gossip. But like there's a lot of gossip in the game dev space, for example, about people who are unsafe, and you can literally trade lists. I have one. You can trade lists of people who are bad, who have been known to do bad things. And those are great. That's a great form of gossip. That's a wonderful thing. I will participate. It's a very protective form of gossip. The problem with it being like so hidden is that like it's hard to, you know, you don't know the stories behind all of the things, but Christmas with the Cranks. I love the movie Christmas with the Cranks because I feel like it's like the epitome of... Oh, another one off. Thank you. I feel like it's the epitome of like watching Christmas with the Cranks is like me going over to some of my white friends' house when I lived in Kansas and just being like, what's going on? Is somebody playing a prank on me? Like, what's going on? Like, cause like legitimately I just like, there's so many like rules and things that I just don't understand. Yeah, like those kinds of things are important. Also, sometimes gossip can be important because like sometimes, you know, sometimes, not all the time, sometimes it can serve a function to help repair relationships. Sometimes you can convey important, you know, like maybe your friend doesn't want to tell you that they're having a hard time, but they'll tell a different friend who will disseminate that information to the rest of the friend group that that friend is having a hard time so that everybody's aware and can be more helpful to them. Or that if that friend is like being irritable, nobody's gonna take it personally, you know what I mean? So there's important functions to gossip that I think sometimes get overlooked because, is it religion that thinks gossip is bad? I don't really understand where it comes from, but like there is something somewhere that is like gossip is inherently evil and bad and anybody who does it is amoral. Or immoral. But like, you know, not everything needs that. But sometimes gossip is just a way to keep up with people like, oh, how is so-and-so doing? I haven't talked to them in years, you know? That's technically gossip. But that's not usually the gossip that people think about when they talk about gossiping. Bye! Where some, yeah, I don't like that. I mean, this is why I don't like Twitter. She's so cute. She's a little tiger. Royal army at as many fortresses as possible. Okay, but I can't just take your word for it that my boss talked to you and agreed. That seems like something I should double check on if this were an actual military. Haha. Well, and sometimes even overly negative gossiping can serve, because there's like some people who just like relish in the fact that bad things are happening to other people, and that's one thing. But then there's that kind of like venting gossip where you're like, I'm mad at my friend and I need to yell about how mad I am at my friend so that when I go to talk to my friend, I don't yell at them and we can have a productive conversation. You know, it's just, you know, human relationships are complicated. I don't know, we all have to find our own morality in the world, and we have to like examine things for ourselves and be like, this thing that like, you know, this thing that either everybody hates or I was raised to hate, or maybe just I have no feeling on it because I wasn't raised with that. How do I personally feel about it? and then like decide from that. At least that's what I do. Which leaves a lot of room for your ideas to change when new information is presented, which is what I enjoy, but not everybody else has to. Did we just report magic to her? Did we talk about the magic to her? Maybe the Dobermans won't be the bad guys here. You never know. Oh, this is like a... Hello, Kelly. I can't talk to a lot of the people here. Oh. Tavern! Nice. What are you doing over here, buddy? Always hungry. Got it. You're so cute, Selena! I don't want to sleep. I'm a snitch! Maybe. I might snitch. It all depends. If people are like being really mean to people, I'm definitely gonna snitch. I don't know. Snitches get stitches. I was like, don't beat people up in front of me and maybe you won't get snitched on. I don't know what to tell you. Like, I don't know. Where's your drunk bard playing songs for spare cash? Where is that? Yeah. Everybody is really adorable in this game. Again, the aesthetics of this game are really nice. I actually, because aside from how wide the streets are, which I think is just necessary for visibility maybe, but like look at the buildings in the background right now. And like look at the plant, like look at how thick the wood is. I love that it feels like all of the objects in this game have a weight to them. You know? It helps it feel like a world. Sure. Hello, Pickle. Hello, Pickle. Aw, Pickle, you're also adorable. Who are you? I can't talk to you. Let's see what else is here. Two bears complaining to a guard. You know, as you do. It's this way. It is pretty hard to understand that perspective. Well, I think that it's hard to gain like that same lived experience, you know? It's really hard to completely understand. But depending on the person, if you like, cause some people are really good at explaining things. You can ask some people and sometimes like, you know, there's been, one of the things I like about the stream is that like, there's been things that I've just been like, I don't get it, I don't understand it, I don't know why. And then I'm able to express that I don't get it, and then people will tell me here on stream, they'll be like, well, this is, you know, this is why people do it that way, or whatever the case may be. Okay, I don't have enough space left, so I'm gonna go home. I don't have enough storage space. Cast meteor thousands of times. Yeah, a lot of these characters are really great. I wonder if this game has relationships with them, or if or not. You know, I wonder if they have like side quests and paths. Is this a tree that I can chop? Probably. Look at them all playing together. I've solved your request. I don't even remember taking it. Oh, I had a package. Who asked me to... Oh, who cares? Oh, I think I sold all my apples. Dang it. Did I not gather enough? How many bee stings did you need from me? Where do I go to my quests? Oh, I needed 10. Oh, that's fine. I can go out and do that. Let me go dump everything. Aaron is now your favorite. They're all really cute. This game has co-op, has local co-op too, and Steam Remote Play, which I'm very curious about. No, cease this! There we go. Just want to sell one so that it can tell me. Selling something once will tell you what its price is after that, so that's why I'm selling one of everything. So that I can know how much they'll sell for in the future. There we go. Alright, let's go. It's late, but nobody cares. Do I think bees are friends with each other? I think most bees are friends with each other, but I don't know that the lady bees are friends with the male bees, considering that sometimes they will push them out of the hive in the winter and kill them because there's not enough food. You know what I mean? I do not know. I do not know. I think bees out in the wild are friends. Hell yeah. And I think all bees are friends with the queen bee. Well, this is a ridiculously cute game. Good night, sorry. Thanks for coming and hanging out. It was good talking with you. I don't know why this... Stop it! I don't know why this bat had a question. I don't know if maybe that meant that it was sensing me. Are the bees still out? Do you think the bees are still out at night? Cease. I think maybe the bees replace, or the bats replace the bees at night. Seems like different animals spawn at different times. Come bee! Combine the bee. Comb bee, but more bee. More bee, less comb? Comb bee? Comb bee? Alright, running. And running, and running, and running. Oh. Can't teleport using that, my bad. Tis a checkpoint, not a teleport. Yes. I'm aware Combee is a Pokemon. I'm just not sure if it's Combee because it's a honeycomb, or whether it's Combee I guess it would be Combi, huh? Oh, now we have guards. Ominous. I wonder if I can go back and talk to the bear about it, see what they say. I also wonder if when you do co-op, it counts as probably somebody joins your game, right? Probably they join and it's not that you're like sharing, you know? Okay. Zigzagoon. I really like Zigzagoon because he finds things. Yeah, Zigzagoons are pretty cute. Oh wow, honeycombs are worth a lot. We got a lot of money. I think it's gonna be easy to have a lot of money in this game. Especially considering there's no stamina for farming, you know what I mean? Tight! I wonder what it means if they're glowing. Maybe it just means they're ready to harvest? These things glow really fast as well. Grow really, really fast, maybe. Let me go finish the farming trial, and then I might wind downstream. Yeah, I just like, I did one of those like Pokemon narrow it down things. I always thought Espeon was my favorite Zigzagoon, but I couldn't, my favorite Pokemon, but I couldn't say no to the Zigzagoon. I just couldn't. I've had to, he's carried me through so many things with his headbutt and rock smash and also being able to learn surf and pick up nuggets. Like, come on, come on. How are you gonna find a better Pokemon than that? Thank you. Yeah, I wanted to shop more. Because now I can buy all of these. Well, these are all way more expensive. Tight. Espeon's in my top 10. They grow. Aeron is a better, how could you? Kiki is now your favorite. There's no containing it. There's a lot of great Pokemon out there. It's hard. It's all about which Pokemon connect with your soul, you know? It's all about who you, what Pokemon would you be? Because I don't think I would be a Zigzagoon. I'm not that nice. I'm not gonna go out here finding you things, giving you the money for it. That's not me. Nah. I find a nugget, I keep it for myself. Whoa. Cheers, Dawn. I have but one hat left. I do love Lapras. Is that Pokemon evil? No, it's just a dark Pokemon. All the dark Pokemon look evil. Maybe it's a psychic Pokemon. Those look evil too. How did I earn money just now? I mean, I'm not complaining. I just don't know how I did it. Because of being used to Harvest Moon, and also because you plant automatically in a 9x9 grid, like that's your field space. So it'll automatically try it. But yeah, also because Harvest Moon. Old habits die hard. All right. She thought Jigglypuff was cute? I'm sure she did. I do think that I'm gonna start winding down the stream here, though. I'm gonna finish planting and watering everything. But would you all like to start sharing your one good things for the day or something you're looking forward to in the future? I'm happy I got to stream. I finished my coding Python for beginners course today. I know, very impressive. And I'm excited to start learning more programming. I'm gonna take a course on C# now. I'm excited about it. You would be Psyduck with constant headaches. I would be... Oh gosh, I don't know what kind of Pokemon I would be. I don't know. I have no idea. I have no idea what kind of Pokemon I would be. Psychic type? I want to be Psychic type. There's no Pokemon that is yours. Hey, classes were canceled. That's awesome. Like a snow day. One of the sad things about remote learning is that like snow days don't exist anymore. I love it. I loved it when classes got canceled. What? They announced a new Big Brain Academy? Oh, I love Big Brain Academy games. Oh, that's wonderful. Oh, you became a game reviewer. Congratulations. Happy birthday month. It's my sister's too. Ooh. Interesting. Interesting. I'd love to take a peek if possible, but I know that might not be possible. Well, I'm definitely gonna get the Big Brain Academy game. I also said I was gonna get the new Pokemon Snap, and girl, I haven't gotten the new Pokemon Snap yet. Why are there so many games coming out? I only have so much money in my pocket. All right? Everybody needs to chill out. I only have so many hours to exist on this earth. I can't play all these great games. I think Kitaria is a good game. I think it's pretty good. Yeah, I wonder how long it is. I'm curious to try to beat it. I want to try to play with some people too. If I play with anybody, I'll update you guys on how it goes, how it works. Oh, Metroid Dread? There's a lot of people excited about that. We were just talking about Metroid games in their writing in the Discord. There's a lot of people excited for it. Maybe I'll finally play my first Metroid game. Depends on whether people say it's a good one. Is 50 games long now? I don't even want to look at my backlog. My backlog is literally impossible. I'm not sure. To play all the games to completion, I don't know that it's like physically possible for me to do, you know what I mean? All right, we're swapping over to IRL. Excuse me, I'm yawning. Back into the music. You imagined you'd be like a Mudkip because you love playing in the mud. Aww. So now you're more like Snorlax? Gosh, yeah. The problem is that there's like 1,000 Pokemon. So which Pokemon are you really? And are you confident about that? I don't know. I don't know. I want to be a Pokemon that's like, seems pretty and aloof, but actually has a nougaty center, but also could punch you. And I don't really know what Pokemon that is. That sounds complicated. Oh, is somebody playing this? Is this what somebody's playing today? Oh no, that would be so fun to raid them too. Oh no, there's so many good people playing right now. Why is this happening? Okay, it looks like they're done playing that game. Okay, so, but this one is nice. So I know who we're raiding. And I haven't raided them in so long, I don't even think most of you know who they are. Thank you, Dawn. Alas, we have truly come to the end of the stream. That's you not taking into account new releases, right? A nice anniversary weekend, aww. Congratulations on 9 years, that's so long. Chair dance. That's so long, that's so cool. I aspire to that. Mine shall. The stream is almost over. We are winding down the stream right now, Sonic Joe. Oh, you know what else I need to take care of? Nightbot. I need to give Nightbot a sub. That was another thing I needed to do. All right. So everybody, we're gonna end the stream. We're gonna go explore our friend. The person who we're gonna be raiding today is called Courtney Ray. They are a crafting stream. So for those who remember, I had a baby Yoda made for me. I will show you it. This is my beautiful baby Yoda that Courtney Ray made for me. And so they do crafting streams. They have a cat cam, like so much. It's very cool. And not only crafting streams, so right now they're knitting, but they don't just do crafting, they do cooking streams. Like they do so many warm, cozy, crafty, like awesome streams. So I think it's about time we raid them. And her pronouns are she, her, and she is also LGBT. So that's awesome. The more you know. All right, so let's get the raid started. All right, and since it's been so long since we've raided, be sure to get your chariot dances ready. This is gonna be awesome. I love raiding crafty streamers. They made the baby Yoda, yeah! They did. Thank you guys so much for coming. This was very fun. Oh, congratulations, Jade, that's awesome. A lot of people became Snorlax over the pandemic. And then lastly, these are the socials. Go find me there, blah, blah, blah. You all know the drill. You don't care. Get your chariot dances ready. Let's go spread positivity. And rating in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bye-bye, everybody. Thank you for coming. Granny says goodbye, too.